reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, San Antonio. Welcome into the Morning Huddle. I am your affable and friendly host, AJ Hoffman.
It sounded like you had to think about it there for a second.
I
think I'm AJ.
Joined by, Rob Thompson.
I'm here.
Yeah, he's here
we
too.
Made it. We made it. We're here on a Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
This basketball thing's wearing me, man. I need a night off. I need a break.
Yeah, the games are running late. I don't know why we can't have a 5 o'clock p.m. start time. I'm not opposed to it. Are you?
I'm with every passing day. I'm more and more about a noon. How about a nooner? Let's do a businessman special. Let's do an early tip for all the city types.
And let's agree. No overtimes unless we start the game at 5 o'clock.
Right. We'll just pick it up tomorrow.
Like if a game goes to overtime, we let the judges decide.
High and low.
Yeah, it's like a fight, like a prize fight. You say, all right, well, you guys went the distance. Let's see who we think won.
Go to the cards.
That's the way to do it, baby. Yeah, good game last night. Good, or actually a great game. Came down to the wire, and the Seattle Storm get the job. Oh,
yeah,
that
was
that was the other game.
To the
I watched the
wrong thing.
Yo, God, I damn sure couldn't watch that game. That started at 9 o'clock our time.
Damn,
9
those
o'clock.
coasters.
And we'll get into Caitlin hate a little more. There's some people who are pushing against my Caitlin hate. I mean,
if they would just ride the wave and make some money, they would.
No,
they'd keep it to
I'll be honest,
themselves.
I'm in the red right
Well, you
now.
gotta bet appropriately.
She keeps covering.
Yeah, they keep covering.
I mean, but I do keep hitting the money line, which is
See?
helping.
That's what I'm saying. You just play appropriately and ride the wave and cheer her on.
But yeah, it's not working out the way I want it to. So I mean, good for her. But
Is it good for her really? 0-5 and a laughing stock around the league where everybody going, "Told you so."
I think.
Told you.
Listen, you know what? I think her life's okay right now. I think she's doing fine. I'm going to ask you this, and I want to start the show on a light note. This is something we haven't even discussed the idea of talking about this. Is there think about in your lifetime, what's the biggest college sports scandal? Like, what's the worst thing that's happened to a college athletics program?
Well, there was the murder of a player in Baylor.
That was bad. No doubt.
There's the point shaving at a couple of schools. I very much remember the Arizona State program going through it. There's recently at New Mexico, been some wasn't there a murder or
I think it was New Mexico State, I believe.
Some kind of setup for murder. The Alabama kid last year lending his gun to another kid that so yeah, there's been a few, but the worst in my memory was Baylor.
Okay. Well, do you remember a story about Penn State University?
Oh, Joe Pa?
Joe Pa.
Well, see, the sad thing is it's Jerry Sandusky. Joe Pa only just knowingly let it happen. But the St. Joe, yeah, that's pretty bad. That's as bad as it. You're right. That's the worst.
That's the one that first jumped to mind.
No, you're right.
It involves children.
I'd block that out.
You'd think that Penn State would be very sensitive to PR things. I don't think they have a PR department, to be honest. Just between last night and this morning, when I was like perusing some stories to bring to the show, I found 2 stories about Penn State, unrelated.
Well, one's about they're going to build a big, new, pretty stadium, right? There's like $700 million investment coming toward their stadium.
In a roundabout way, it's about that, but it's about what they have to tear down to make that stadium.
Oh man, okay.
But the first story is about the football team. And James Franklin is not a guy with a good reputation as like a nice person. And I haven't dealt directly with James Franklin. Everyone I know who has says that this guy is a real piece of
Really? He's been up for some big gigs that he didn't get. Maybe that's why.
I don't think he interviews well because he's an a-hole. But now a former doctor from the team has come out and said that James Franklin attempted to interfere with medical decisions involving players on the team. The primary care doctor for Penn State football in 2014 claimed during a civil trial against Franklin and the school that he was pushed by Franklin and the AD to medically disqualify a player who attempted suicide. Why? He wanted to open up a scholarship. The unidentified player was in short-term psychiatric care, and he said he attempted to influence my medical decisions. He said that he did not give in to the pressure, and he was then terminated eventually in 2019, but he filed this lawsuit. It's like, boy, this is the last thing I'd want coming up if I'm Penn State. Like, oh, this kid tried to commit suicide, and we were like, get him off the team. I got a defensive tackle down in Ohio who's looking for a spot.
I've heard of worse. Honestly, I mean that's not uncommon. I wonder what position it was. I'm really curious as to who they're getting ready to play and why they had the desperate need to find a Scully. I mean, like you got 115 other dudes. I found that interesting.
Well, but once one of them tries to kill himself,
yeah, there is that whole other side of stuff.
How much can we use this guy? Is what James Franklin said.
Send him over the ice creamery.
Get him out of here. Let him play it. Let him play at Pitt. This was pre-transfer portal. He's like, put this guy in the portal. Where's he going to go? I don't know. Youngstown State. Not my problem.
Franklin's been there. What struck me when you said that, it doesn't feel like he's been there a decade.
He's been there a long time.
And because I think in the early years, he was up for so many gigs that, he didn't get for whatever reason. Not that Penn State isn't a destination job, but I have some personal experience. I knew a guy that lost a scholarship for stuff like that.
It just seems like it seems harsh, but it also, like I said, there's some places where you can't have stuff like this come out. Like Baylor, you don't want any big scandals at Baylor. And like Baylor, remember when the Art Briles thing popped up? It was like, oh no,
again.
We've already been through the muck. It's like there's some places where you just can't. You can afford less wiggle room on your PR stuff. Well, now here's another story. The other story I found about Penn State. Penn State owns some farmland in Ferguson Township. Everything in Pennsylvania is like a township.
Sounds so friendly. If you live in a township, it just sounds much nicer.
Yeah. And there's a building there on the property now that Penn State owns, and it's a barn. And it turns out that this barn was connected to the Underground Railroad. So this is like a historic barn in our nation's history where, they were helping people escape slavery. And the article goes through different parts of the house or different parts of the building. Holes where people were hiding, like Anne Frank. And you can sometimes, they said there were some documents found that it's like inside the building. That's like, man, this is a wild place. Well, currently access to the barn is prohibited by Penn State. They don't want people going in and poking around.
Museum.
No, that's not why. The university's decided to demolish the structure this summer. After delaying the decision for several years while searching for a potential buyer, but they don't want to deal with the problem anymore. They said, this is a safety hazard. It's structurally unsound. We're going to knock this bad boy down. In light of the budget challenges the barn's not in great shape. It's going to be too expensive to renovate or restore it. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing out of the way. That doesn't seem like the move. I don't know. Like, you find out, hey, this building that you happened upon, historical relevance.
Well, is it? I mean, who claims that does everybody understand that it is indeed part of? Does even Penn State acknowledge the fact that this? So they acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And this institution of higher learning that is there to preserve the past has decided that not to move the building, not to do anything, but just to knock it down.
A historian from the Belafonte Historical and Cultural Association said there is documented evidence of Underground Railroad stops in Ferguson Township, including at this barn. So I don't know, maybe another maybe a misstep. I would call it a PR misstep, would be tearing down a barn that was part of the Underground Railroad after you try to kick a kid off the team who committed suicide, after you cover up a child rape scandal. Like, maybe take a break from doing these types of things. Maybe don't have both these stories up at the same time. Like, I don't know who you got to pay in Pennsylvania to get a story delayed, a week. Like, hey, can you guys push this barn story off until next week? I got a coach who's trying to get rid of a kid who almost killed himself. Can we push this barn story back a little bit?
Wait a minute here. I'm reading this Belafonte.
Is it a made up place?
No, it's real. But I wonder if they have something to do with the property.
What do you mean?
Do they have a financial interest in this?
I mean,
I'm trying to figure out.
My guess is
why the only defenders of this thing ain't anybody at Penn State, specifically maybe the history department, but it's an adjoining nonprofit volunteer organization working to provide diverse cultural arts programming in Belafonte, Pennsylvania, is the one that's coming out and saying, "Oh, you can't sell this." They're the only ones?
Well, no, they're not the only ones.
Okay.
Because I saw that this lady, this gal named Karen DeHaas, which that's an unfortunate name for a woman. Although I guess she was married into it. Her husband, it's because it says her husband at the time. And I think DeHaas would be a good last name for a dude. Like, imagine you're a big-ass football player and it's like Rob DeHaas.
Now, that's a nickname. And smile when you say that.
But if your name's Karen DeHaas, especially if you're a big old gal, that'd be unfortunate. But she is the one who sold the barn. It says,
"Oh, okay."
They sold the barn in Penn State in 2006, and had no idea that it would fall into disrepair. She said, "Penn State was bugging my husband all the time to sell the barn. We assumed they would use it for tractors and supplies. It was in excellent shape. Floors were strong. The beams were huge. I'm really sorry we sold this barn to Penn State."
Well, they weren't preserving it. They were using it to store tractors.
Well, yeah, but it was a historic barn. She said it was in good shape. She said the Kepler barn, Priscilla De Leon, who's the president of the Historic Barn and Farm Foundation of Pennsylvania.
What?
I got to start up a foundation. Better and better. I got to start up a foundation.
The Historic Barn and Shed Foundation of Pennsylvania.
I'm the
honorary president of that very thing here in Texas.
Ridiculous. I'm going to create one of those here.
But mine is Barn, Shed, Shack, and Shanty.
Yeah,
I've got them all.
Tool shed,
all of those
shed.
Under my purview.
Yeah. She said the Kepler barn, which is the name of the barn, is an icon on the local landscape and a symbol of architectural ingenuity.
Yes.
It's a barn.
And
architectural ingenuity. It is a barn.
Somebody's trying to get some more money. This is a money grab. Hey, I think this barn's worth more than you think it is. I used to keep my tractors in there. Oh, yeah, and they hid ex-slaves in there, too. Oh, yeah. Oh, and by the way, after we stored the tractors, it's part of the Underground Railroad. But first and foremost, my tractors stayed clean there. I don't know what they'd done to it. It's worth more than this.
I don't know. But yeah.
And put that sick kid in the barn. Let the sick kid live in the barn. Maybe that's what he needs, some fresh air.
The kid who almost killed himself?
Well, almost is the key word there.
Let him recover there?
Fresh air. He can live in the barn.
But not be on scholarship. Who's going to pay for him?
Oh, no, but he lives for free. We'll give him board, room, and a little bit of board, a little bit of hay.
Yeah, you're allowed to chew on the barley that they're growing
But,
there.
it's kind of a rehab program for you, back to nature,
Yeah.
because your scholarship's gone because you can't make a tackle.
But if you're in the building when we raise it to the ground, that's on you. And if you're still thinking about killing yourself, you may want to stick around when we bring the wrecking ball in.
Go hide in one of those cubbies. Why
Yeah.
don't you go hide in the basement?
I just feel like it's not great PR going right now.
Well, they did let a child rapist coach there for 25 years. So, they've done worse. In the grand scale of things that Penn State has done,
You know
this is nothing.
I think it's the play-by-play guy for the Baltimore Ravens is named Jerry Sandusky. And every time I hear that, I'm like, oh, this poor dude
You'd
is
have
probably
to
like,
change your name.
son of a
I've seen a
bitch.
Seinfeld sketch where a guy was named after a serial killer.
I mean,
I'd have to give in.
that's
I
the
couldn't do it.
worst.
I'd like you to meet what?
It's
what's
like
the
Jeffrey Dahmer or
Yeah.
whatever? Yeah.
The proud Dahmer name has been besmirched.
You're like, I had it first. Although I think Jerry Sandusky, he's like a million years old, or he's dead now. But I think he had it first. But it is unfortunate that every time I hear the Ravens on the radio, it's like, oh,
Well,
I
as the
forgot
father
that's his
of-
name. That's a bummer.
As the father of Klay Thompson, sometimes it's a timing thing more than anything
But
else.
that's a
But, you don't mean to go Jerry Sandusky. He had no idea that the grandpa Sandusky was
Damn it.
named after
I believe
a pedophile.
I'd start every broadcast with like Jerry Sandusky, the good one.
Not him.
What's your middle name is the other thing. Like if I'm Jerry, I don't know. Like how bad would your middle name have to be that you wouldn't just change it up?
Go. Well, can you even use Sandusky
Like it could
at
be.
all?
I mean, if your name was Jerry Mortimer Sandusky,
Morte.
I'd be ready. I'd say it's Mortimer Sandusky here, live from Baltimore. It's just I'd have to make the change. All right, we got to hit a break. When we come back, we'll get into a little bit of this Wolves Mavs. We got a lot to talk about today. Caitlin hate. There's some people who are pushing against my Caitlin hate. We're gonna hear from them. NFL technology finally catching up with the world, and a lot about the Cowboys. Dakota doesn't care about money anymore, so that's good news for Jara. It is the Morning Huddle right here on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hey, good news. Well, I got some bad news, Twin Peaks, folks. We're going to put something to bed for the summer. Everybody take a deep breath and pause. The bourbon and brews, well, it's going away, sadly. All right, let's say goodbye. The party is just beginning because this summer it is all starting. Twin Peaks is beginning a tradition like none other. Tequilas and cervezas. Fiestas every Friday at every Twin Peaks. Samples of their favorite tequilas, cervezas all summer long. And when you get an icy cold brew, it truly is icy cold at Twin Peaks because you see the thermometer above the bar, 29 degrees, baby. That's just the beginning of what they do. They're featuring fiery red lingerie parties as well. It's hot outside, it's hot inside, but the beer is icy cold. Head over to any one of the 4 Twin Peaks in San Antonio and enjoy yourselves a fine icy cold beer and a tequila, the likes of which you only get at Twin Peaks over on 151 Days of All and I-10. That's my home field. If you're heading bound San Pedro, stop right there. If you're on the northeast side, IKEA Lane is waiting on you. Twin Peaks, the eats are always scratch made coming out of the kitchen. Drinks icy cold, but why do we go? It's easy. It's those scenic views.
San Antonio's Sports Star.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone Firm's Memorial Day sale and get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700 and get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses, all with free and fast delivery. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Hey, have you heard the amazing news from Boost Mobile? When you switch to Boost, you get 4 lines for $100, plus 4 free 5G devices, like the Samsung Galaxy A15 or the Moto G Stylus 5G. That's 4 lines for $100. Need another reason to switch? Boost offers high-speed data at low prices with no annual contracts and no credit checks. Switching is easy. Just head over to your local Boost Mobile store. New customers in select markets only. Requires porting and ID verification. Other restrictions apply. See participating dealers for details.
Get ready, San Antonio. Baseball Express and Team Express are hosting the event of the season. This Saturday, stop by 1003 East Nakoma for a chance to pop a balloon and get up to 100% off your purchase, up to $500. Only 250 balloons are available, so come early. Baseball Express and Team Express have gear for every sport, team uniforms, and top brand apparel. Clearance items up to 60% off. Use code CTE10 for an extra 10% off. Team Express, all sports, all the time. Visit teamexpress.com for more details.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Tri-County Meat Market, your locally owned full-service meat market. Tri-County has two great locations, Heavner Road and Ralph Fair, stocked full of everything you need to up your grilling game. You're looking for the perfect cut of beef, they've got it. If they don't have it, they'll cut it for you. Roast chicken, prepare foods, they've got it. The 5 for $25 is always in play. If you're a first responder, 10% off the best meat you're going to find. Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either location, put some good meat on the grill, and thank me later.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 210-615-7777 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-5407. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-5407. That's 800-575-5407. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Get the most important woman in your life a 5-carat certified colorless tennis bracelet for $1,650. Set in 14-karat gold. Founded by a family of diamond experts for 3 generations. CleanOrigin.com offers hard-to-beat pricing for lab-grown diamonds. Get 10% off when you use code RADIO10 at CleanOrigin.com or one of our 6 store locations.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
It is the Morning Huddle right here on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. I'm AJ Hoffman. I'm the new guy here. Thanks for welcoming me in.
You are indeed welcome.
I've gotten generally good reaction from people, good response from people about our little program here, Rob.
Well,
that's nice.
Really good to know you.
Yeah.
Withhold judgment.
Then they're going to know.
Then,
like, oh, this guy's a scumbag.
Decide.
But for now, like the people here have been very friendly. I actually had one guy from Houston who was like, your show sucks now. I don't like it when you lead the show. I was like, oh, well, all right.
Wow. They're paying really close attention to how things work. Just listen, enjoy.
Like the person, just because I'm bringing it in and out of break, I mean, all right. You know what? I'm not going to let anybody bring me down. I'm not going to let anybody steal my joy today. I'll tell you that right now, Bubba. I got too much sunshine in my
gotta
life.
hold on to what little I got.
Yeah. The Wolves and the Mavs.
Is there joy in Minnesota today?
There is no joy in Minneapolis, for Anthony Edwards has struck out. This was, I mean, listen, man, so far through 2 games of the playoffs or of the conference finals, we've gotten 2 great games.
Yeah, we have gotten that.
But they've both, for the team that lost, they've both been just kicks in the stones on how they lost these games. Early, it felt like Minnesota was going to run away with this game. I thought Minnesota was clearly the better team early on. And then
Kyrie pulled his jacket open and Superman arrived.
Boy, did he. And credit where it's due to Kyrie. And I want to get into the evolution, no pun intended, because I'm sure Kyrie is like either whatever you disagree with, I'm sure Kyrie believes about evolution. I like it because generally whatever you think, he thinks the opposite. Remember, this is the flat earther Kyrie. But you talk about a guy he almost changed his reputation completely from 2 years ago, where he was looked at as like this terrible bad guy. And now, I mean, he feels like the leader of the Dallas Mavericks, which I don't think anyone saw coming, right? It felt like, okay, we're going to bring this guy in. He's super talented. He's a giant pain in the ass. But we got to make something happen with Luka. I think we've got enough guys that we can cover up any lunacy that he spits. And, Mark Cuban's not averse to taking a little criticism. He's like, well, we'll just, we'll hide him. This dude's becoming the leader of the team. And he basically won them that game yesterday. This was an incredible showing for, not that Luka didn't play well. He did. But it felt like a Kyrie Irving game.
I've never seen a team like this. I've never seen a team that's able to do this. This isn't a good or bad thing. It's just different. I've never seen
2 different teams.
Kyrie, you've got the Kyrie offense, which is a lot of board work, get to the paint, a lot of layups, a lot of kicks for threes, a little bit more movement. You don't need to be quite as athletic with the other dudes when Kyrie's out there, and you see a little bit more. It seems like Gafford and Kyrie play really well together, and it looks like Lively and Jokic and Luka play well together. And then you got that kind of stuff. And first half was all Kyrie, and second half was all Luka. But I've also seen all first half Luka and all fourth quarter Kyrie. It's a very difficult proposition for Jason Kidd to pull this tightrope walk act. Congratulations, man. I knew they had a puncher's chance. I didn't think they'd do that last night. I really didn't.
I'm not a basketball coach. I've never claimed to be one. I have a rudimentary understanding of the game, but this is my advice to the coaches in this series. If I'm the coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves, I'm going to stop letting PJ Washington stand in the corner by himself and fire up threes. I'm just going to not let that happen anymore. Just like if I'm Jason Kidd, I'm going to stop letting Jaden McDaniels take open threes. I know he's supposed to be a defensive guy.
Luka watched a lot of those things go over his head, man. Come on, Luka, step to it. And he did. And to his credit, in the second half, he kind of stepped up.
I'm just like, I'm tired of you doing that. I'm not going to let that happen anymore. But there were some, Mike Conley, you said he's cursed. Boy, Karl Anthony Towns, this is the kind of game you've been expecting Karl Anthony Towns to have right when you bought back into him.
Well,
he turns back into this Karl Anthony Towns.
3 of the last 5 games we've watched Minnesota play, they have laid an egg. 3 of the last 5.
Yeah. Which, listen, that was enough to they were still able to get through.
Yeah. But think of, they lost consecutive ugly games. They really did.
Yeah, this was a tough one to swallow. We'll talk more about this game. I want to get into some Caitlin hate on the other side, and there's some big names speaking out against my Caitlin hate. We'll talk about that. It's Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, it is a big day. We're going to be live out at the Roo Pub. Always a lot of fun.
Get you ready for tonight's NBA game, and the Dallas Stars get their conference final series underway. react to what we saw last night. Plus, we'll talk with John McClain at 5:15. The Blitz live out at the Roo Pub. We get going at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Did I tell you about the electrician that got a Woody when I was showering outside a few months ago?
What? It's wrong on every level.
And I'm out there showering, and I noticed that the electrician's over on this other garage at 5 in the morning working. And I was like, he'll see me, and he'll go away.
He'll go away.
I think he thought we were having a gay moment.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FREE for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or any gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FREE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FREE for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill up.
When you ask people here, what's the one thing that makes Diamonds Direct their favorite jeweler? For some, it's the unbeatable pricing we get through our direct importer. No middleman connections. The foundation of our business since day one. For others, it's the uncompromising quality. From hand-selected diamonds to handcrafted designer rings. Only the best of the best. Some people put selection at the top of their list, as Diamonds Direct offers up to 30 times the options you expect from a typical jewelry retailer. For some, it's our luxurious showroom with diamond experts who genuinely care about your experience and happiness, and who are empowered to do whatever it takes for you. Others rave about Diamonds Direct's unmatched warranties and guarantees that include free service for life and an extraordinary 110% diamond upgrade promise. But you know the most often answer we get when asking what makes Diamonds Direct stand out? It's not one thing. It's everything. Diamonds Direct. Value, luxury, choices, and confidence. Get directions, hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? Fog between the glass? Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace.
If you've put off replacing windows because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And Right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door.
Just text BUY to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year.
That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month.
Text BUY to 200-300 right now. Text the word BUY to 200-300. Don't wait. Text BUY to 200-300.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-5407. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-5407. That's 800-575-5407. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Check out the beat. Put it on a loop.
All right. Yo. Check me out now. Oh, I shouldn't get into some sick verse. I should just do the show. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. AJ Hoffman, Rob Thompson, bringing you into work on a Thursday. Welcome in, baby. The Thursday crowd. Boy, do I love a Thursday.
It's not Thursday. It's Small Friday. I think
is that what you call
attack it that way. All right, that didn't work.
I used to love Thursday because there was a time when most, I don't know if most, but like people would go out to eat at wing places on Wednesday. Forever, I guess it was like they called it Wings Day.
Yeah.
But then Thursday, the wing place always had specials, and it's like
the leftover wings.
But it was like all you can eat wings, and this is back in a better time in our country's history when you could get all you can eat wings for like $14. And boy, would I punish a place who let me have all of the wings I could eat.
So Thursday has no food. We got Taco Tuesday, Wednesday wing.
Yeah.
Thursday has no food.
Sometimes they'll do a Thirsty Thursday, which I like that too. Don't get me wrong, Rob. I'm a thirsty guy.
Another one of those things that we don't get anymore.
No.
We can't have nice things.
I don't know if I blame COVID or Biden or...
No, I blame the Gen Zers.
Gen Z.
There's
a lot of things
they can't handle their alcohol.
I don't know what to blame, but I in a way I blame Mike McCarthy too.
Well, there's a lot of things to blame Mike for.
I blame I still reserve a little bit of blame for Jason Garrett, who...
No, he brought all that on himself. No one deserves any blame for Jason Garrett other than Jason Garrett.
I'm saying I blame Jason Garrett in a way. Still,
there's a lot of things to blame Jason for.
He could be the reason why we don't have wing specials on Thursdays anymore. And in fact, I went to a wing place the other day, and they did have an all-you-can-eat wings. You know how much it was? $32. And I said, man, I don't know if I can eat $32 worth of wings anymore.
Some good wings, baby.
Boy, I think they're from actual buffalo. That's why. Like,
flew them in special.
I used to eat chicken wings with buffalo sauce, but now you're eating the wings of buffalo, which is an endangered species, as you know. But they're hunted mostly for their wings, and it's unfortunate. But
so you're still of the age that you'll go out and you want wings to eat.
I love wings.
I've reached a point where wings are only part of a meal now.
Do you think of them as an appetizer?
I don't know if that's an age thing. But I don't just eat wings anymore.
I once, when I worked in Austin years and years ago, this would have been probably 2007, maybe 2006 even. my station was on 15:30 a.m. and we did a contest, and it was which listener can eat the most wings in 15 minutes.
Have you ever
and 30
done
seconds.
I've participated in a couple of winging contests.
I ate 102 wings in 15 minutes and 30 seconds.
See, you weren't afraid you were going to die, not from the food, but from choking. I almost choked myself.
But you know what the saddest part was? I didn't win that contest.
Oh, I didn't win mine either. I lost to Spurs Jesus.
But I ate 102 wings and came in second place. And I threw up afterwards.
Oh yeah.
And a guy who eventually would go on to be my boss, but at the time was just a coworker, was in the bathroom with a microphone and listening, like recording me throwing up.
Were they drumettes? Were they flats? What were you?
It was a mix.
Oh,
but I had a good strategy, man. What the key was, I would take the wing in one hand, like if it was a drum, I'd grip it, a vice grip.
I gotta approach the judges on this. You're not supposed to be able to do that. You don't pull them. I think you found a loophole.
If you clean the bone,
I've never seen that.
If you clean the bone, it counts.
Joey Chestnut, I think in the mouth, man, there's no implement pulling the meat off the meat.
It's your hand.
I don't know. We need a judge.
You got to be able to pop.
Brigade Bar.
Pop.
Did he do this right?
It's fair. All is fair.
Vic, are you allowed to pull the meat off with your hands while eating a wing in a wing contest?
I think you can do whatever it takes to eat as many wings as you can.
As long as you don't leave meat on the bone.
Right.
Boy, I get so mad. I see people eating wings and they like, my older son is so bad at eating wings.
That's a skill.
I'm like, dude, you order boneless. You eat chicken nuggets. You're not
So
you're not responsible
if you
enough.
could choose, do you like the flats or the drumettes? Which is your choice?
I prefer drumettes.
Really?
Because they're meatier.
They are. But the drumette, the flat is easier to eat. That's one you can just pop in and.
Well, and the way I do a flat is, especially when I'm working for speed, I crack it. I clean whichever bone has the least on it. And then
that's how I
the
eat
bigger
them
bone.
Normally. But in the contest, I was led to believe that I wasn't allowed to pull the meat off with my hands. I thought I had to only use my teeth.
Here's what I did.
That's what she said.
At one point, I was peeling the meat off and then eating it with just shoveling it in nuggets form.
I physically gagged. I was afraid about halfway through that I was going to choke myself because I was going and I got kind of gagged and Raulito powered through and then Spurs Jesus.
How many did you eat?
I think it was like 68.
Oh, that's a pretty good
number. It was a good number. I was in the running. It was several minutes. It was long enough to where I was like, for the love of God, will this thing finish?
Yeah.
It was like
15 minutes of eating wings is a long
time.
It
was enough to where I was
you're
really worried. Because, we all start and it's like the 100-yard dash. You go as fast as you can to get started. And then you realize this is a marathon. This isn't a short-term thing. And then the meat sweats start to hit.
I also made a strategic error in that I ordered, I normally like my wings hot, especially when I was younger. I like things really hot. Now I'm like, maybe just kind of hot.
Like you're talking extraordinary spice or just give me a barometer to your spice level.
Like if I order Thai food,
okay,
and it's on a scale of 10, when I was young, it was always 10 of 10.
Face sweat, brow.
I always wanted 10 out of 10.
All right.
Now in my 40s, I say, give me 8 out of 10. That's good for me. I don't.
Okay.
And I'm sure I could probably handle a 9.
But
I don't think I can handle. Yeah.
Why would I want to?
And you know who taught me that? My wife. She says, "Why would you do that?
Why
is it that much better?" And I say, you know what? You're right.
Some of the heat I like. I appreciate, but especially in a wing eating contest, that stuff would be in my eyes.
Well, that was the mistake I made. I ordered hot when I should have ordered either mild or maybe I could have got away with medium, but it did become a hindrance at one point that it was so spicy. And when you eat 106 wings and they're hot, it burns a lot more on the way out because your body's not meant to process that much at once. All right, that was not talk about Caitlin Clark. I do understand,
but it was hot and spicy.
We'll get into some Caitlin talk. I swear. You know what? We'll do it next. On my rundown, it says Tesla sex next, but we'll push that to later. I want Rob to ponder that for a little bit. It is the Morning Huddle right here on 94.1.
Press the key? Is that what happens?
You'll have to learn. San Antonio Sports Star.
Score a trip for 4 to Orlando's most magical theme park, including airfare and hotel. Register now to win at SanAntonioSportsStar.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-785-9545. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-785-9545 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-785-9545 to see if you qualify. That's 800-785-9545.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. From high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone, including blackjack tournaments. From the owners of the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, the Big Blind is locally owned and operated, offering daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 and Redland Road.
You want another way to add excitement to watching the NBA playoffs? Jason Minix here. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It is a fan favorite way to play fantasy sports, especially playing the Pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your Pick'em entry, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. Endless projections to choose from. It is fantasy, and it is legal in Texas. So get started by going to the easy-to-use Underdog Fantasy mobile app or go to the website underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR, and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first Pick'em entry and a deposit offer. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, sign up using my promo code STAR at underdogfantasy.com.
This is the absolute worst time of year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor stuff that you love to do, like golfing, hiking, biking, jogging, playing on the beach. Hey, it's James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star. Listen, don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints, like your knees, hips, back, shoulders. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, who is an orthopedic surgeon who became the future pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. So call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Morning Morning Huddle 941 San Antonio Sports Star. AJ Hoffman, Rob Thompson. AJ Hoffman, the old Caitlin hating ass. No fun. 0-5. But who's counting?
She's trying really hard.
She
AJ.
is trying really hard. She choked away a game last night. A lot of people don't want to talk about that because that doesn't fit the narrative of the mainstream fake media news. I don't know if it's yeah, I guess it's got to be the liberal news outlets who are trying to make me think that Caitlin some kind of savior. She ain't no savior, Bubba. She fumbled away an inbounds pass and cost her team victory.
Sucks.
She had a chance to win the game and blew it last night. Blew it. On top of that, this is the worst thing about it. She lost the game, but covered the spread. Like, who does that? You can't even lose right, Caitlin? Man, you suck. Yet here these celebrities come.
Okay, I want you to compare. Now, obviously, the LeBron would be the closest in comparison as the person that came in with as much pressure and expectation as she has.
In basketball?
Name any other sport.
Tiger.
He lived up to it.
Yeah.
He was there immediately. LeBron, initially his rookie year, nothing speculative. You know, he was a rookie, a young rookie.
Yeah.
Michael, nothing really to ride home that first year. Still finding his way.
I think Peyton Manning, there was a lot of expectations.
Unprecedented pressure on these, and most
John Elway, if you want to go way back,
and most did not meet expectations. One or two have, and those are legends that are put on mountainsides.
I think the majority have. There's guys like Andrew Luck who the expectations were absurd, and he didn't live up to them.
And he ran from them.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence is on his way to be in that. But I think for the most part, the guys who come in with that kind of hype, you've generally worked out.
Yeah, and there's still time on the clock. But I just think it just shows, like any other sport, there's just a huge difference from those that are getting paid to do it than those are still learning how to do it. And she's still learning how to do it.
I read this quote from Harrison Butker, who said the women handle pressure differently than men. Some of us are able to kick field goals in key moments of Super Bowl championship wins, while others can't handle a regular season inbound pass. And a lot of it has to do with the DNA makeup, chromosomes, and just the science of having a vagine. It puts you at a disadvantage in a lot of ways in the world. And if Caitlin were doing the right thing, and again, this is a quote from Harrison Butker, if Caitlin were doing the right thing for herself, her country, and her gender, she would be at home cooking for her man. End quote. Now that's not the way I feel.
Not disparaging, by the way.
That's not the way I feel about it, but that's the way some people do feel. Now there are people who say that people like me, the Caitlin haters, are in the wrong. Here's what Charles Barkley, like he knows anything about basketball, here's what he had to say about people hating on Caitlin.
I got to give LeBron a shout out. It's something I read on Bleacher Report. You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Oh, you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes. Listen, what she's accomplished, give her flowers. Stop being petty, all you women out there. She got y'all ass charters. She bringing all y'all this money.
He's just hating on more women. Like he thinks that, again, men and women should have different opinions, much like Harrison Butker does. But he's referring to LeBron. And LeBron is the one. LeBron, of course, had to tie his son into this. Like somehow those two things are even remotely similar. But here's what LeBron had to say about our girl, Caitlin.
The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport
more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it f***ed up. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA. But for her individually, I don't think she should get involved on nothing that's being said. Just go have fun, enjoy, but I'm rooting for Caitlin because I've been in that seat before. I've walked that road before. I hope she kills. I hope Aaliyah Boston does amazing. I hope they do great. I'm just kind of in this mode right now because I'm getting the same, thing from watching my son, who's a 19-year-old, kind of getting a lot of animosity and hatred towards him when he's just a kid trying to live out his dream. There's a very small number of men and women that actually get to live out their dream of playing a professional sport. And we have grown-ass men and women out here doing whatever they can to try to make sure that does not happen. That is the weirdest thing in the world, but it is what it is. And I'm glad that Caitlin has a great head on her shoulders.
First of all,
so fundamentally different.
First of all, no one's trying to say Caitlin Clark shouldn't be playing professional basketball.
What are you talking about?
She's clearly good enough to play professional basketball. Now, your son, I'm not so sure. And you can say, I don't want him. I don't care if Bronny James makes it. I mean, if he does, good for him. But to act like having doubts about whether he can is somehow hating. It's absurd. We'll talk more Caitlin Clark on the other, maybe not on the other side. Yeah, you know what? We will do it on the other side.
Caitlin, AJ, he's the same. He's being taken care of.
It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding the work with AJ Hoffman.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-5407. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-5407. That's 800-575-5407. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years. The leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for my favorite game app. It is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Heck, I'm just one of 3 million active users. They're the easiest to play. They're the most exciting way to play your daily fantasy sports. And it's unlike other apps. On Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're a fantasy player. You know when it's more. You know when it's less. Up to 100 times your money according to how you play it. $1,000 In college basketball entries today is the time to play. You can turn $10 into big money quick. The biggest moments in professional basketball are happening right now, and it's no fun unless you're playing. Go to Prize Picks right now and remember the code Alamo for your first deposit match of up to $100. That's the code Alamo. Prize Picks. Fantasy, you're playing already. Go win. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code Alamo, and up to $100 deposit match is coming. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
Score a trip for four to Orlando's most magical theme park, including airfare and hotel. Register now to win at SanAntonioSportsStar.com.
San Antonio Sports Center. The NBA playoffs continue. Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals went to the Dallas Mavericks as they took a 108-105 win over the Timberwolves. The Eastern Conference Finals head to Game 2 tonight as Jason Tatum and the Celtics look to take a 2-0 advantage over Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 2 of the Morning Huddle on San Antonio Sports Star. AJ Hoffman, Rob Thompson.
We got wristbands
through
this
your
hour.
day.
We got wristbands this hour.
Yep, somebody's going to be registered. Somebody's getting their name on the list. You know what? We might do that 3 times today. It's so much fun. We might do it 3 times. Thrice, some would even say. We've had a busy morning so far. We've been talking Wolves Mavs a little, been talking some Caitlin hate, which I'm standing by mine. Listen, 0-5 is 0-5. I don't know where else you're going to go 0-5, and people are going to keep pretending like you're sliced bread.
Last night was the first time she deserved a little bit of.
She choked the game away.
She did. At some point, you got to go. Get past the hype.
You're down 2, chance to win.
You need to go win a basketball game. It's beyond who you are and the team and the first round draft pick and all the the Jets and the hatred.
How about do your job?
Go win a basketball.
Do your
game.
job, Caitlin. What's Harrison Butker say her job is? I forgot.
Well, depends on if she's already made her pie and churned her butter.
If she knew her role,
right,
she would be facing less criticism.
And she needs to star in her role, and she's starring in the wrong part.
But do you think Harrison Butker gets does he only want married women to do this, or is because Caitlin's single, she's allowed to be playing playing men's games? Would it change if she if she were married? Obviously, he'd want her.
She'd have other duties.
He'd want her in her slippers and robe. But should she be right now out looking for a husband? Is that what she should be doing?
She should. God has a plan, and she just needs to sit at home and wait for it to take place. I mean,
Well, I don't know. so far, I think I'm right. I think I'm right, Rob.
Can she go over? 0 for 39? Is that how many? Is it? Can we?
I
can
don't
we
know.
hope?
I mean, if she goes 0 and 20, it's like this is absurd that we're still talking about this.
Well, we'd have to change the rules to make it easier for her. Is what we'd have to do because Barkley said it. I mean, everybody needs to shut up. She might be losing, but you're sitting in a private jet because of that.
Well, he's only talking to women. Barkley's got a little bucker in him. He's like, listen, men hate because we're insecure, but you women,
cheese me, man, just lots of cheese.
You women, you guys should be kissing her feet. Is what Barkley said.
You people,
yeah,
you people,
y'all are making money because of her. Y'all are flying in fancy planes because of her.
He's kind of right.
He is kind of right. Now, the men's players, they already had the fancy planes and the money. They didn't need Caitlin Clark, but these WNBA girls, they should kind of be kissing her ass.
As hard as she's got it, at least she's not brawny. It could be worse.
Oh, that's true.
I mean,
like you don't know what it's like. He just wants to play pro basketball.
That's all he's ever, and when he gets cut and he drives home in his Lambo
and grown-ass men don't want to see it happen, Rom. They don't want to see him make it.
I hate him just because of his name.
Yeah, and it's not because he could barely get on the floor in college in the 1 year that he played, but it's because they just don't want to see a young man have success.
Keep a man down.
I don't know. Chris, you're wrong. Now Clark knows what Wemby felt like last year. Listen, if Wemby had half the pressure Caitlin Clark did, I don't know that he would have probably crumbled. There's no way he would have stood up to it. He was no man. It's like childbirth. There's only two things. Women know two things that men can't know: the pains of childbirth and the pressure of Caitlin Clark. Those are the two things that we will never understand as men.
And I'm actually quite grateful.
Yeah.
They can keep those.
Keep
things.
it.
Keep those. I don't want them.
It's not for me. Now, some things women will never know. They will never know what it feels like to be Harrison Butker and just have someone stand in a room and cook dinner for you and rub your feet when you get home.
They'll never know the thrill of the helicopter, ever.
That is true. Post-shower
helicopter is one of the great things in life, and they will never know.
But
I feel sorry for them.
You know what they'll know about it? They'll know to clean the spatter off the mirror.
Well, there's that. See, they don't know what that is because they're not in there.
Oh yeah.
So let's not
you
let
don't
that
helicopter. You don't helicopter in front of your wife?
Well, I do.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I'm normally dry, so there's no splatter.
Oh,
I take care to.
It's part of my drying process.
Well, see, I take care to prepare myself for the actual. The helicopter happens twice. First one, you have to loosen things up. Got to get things moving. That first one,
you want to make sure your propellers are long enough to get things up in the air.
Yeah, you got to. The propeller never happens just once. If you're doing it the first time in public, it's not going to look as good as the second one.
No,
things loosen up. You know what I mean?
You have to prepare You have to prepare for takeoff.
Exactly right. There's a pre-flight ritual that we have to go through.
We call them checks.
So the pre-flight check, that's when the splatter occurs. But when the show is going on, we're freshly dried and coiffed.
Fair enough.
Full speed ahead, if you will.
Fair enough. At the end of this Wolves-Mavs game, there was a key play where it looked like the T-Wolves had tied the game. Karl Anthony Towns with a putback, and they said that is goaltending.
Well, in the United States.
And man, it's tough because by the law of the land, it's goaltending.
Here in the United States.
Yeah, but it was so far up in the air, and it had zero chance. The probability of that shot falling in was 0.0. Like there was no, there's no world where that ball from the height that was and the angle that it was going was ever going to have a chance to hit the rim. It might have hit the rim, but it wasn't going to go in.
You're right, but you got to think about this game. I get the call. That sucks, and there's a reason why in Europe the cylinder, you can grab balls off the rim and do some stuff. But you can't in this league because if we allowed that, there'd never be a basket.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Wemby was allowed to go up and get those balls that maybe weren't going to go in, and he could just go up and grab them out of the air,
everything up
15 feet, 5 feet above the rim, So that was a robbery and it would have been beautiful and it was well played. And on any gym in most of the world and any other place in the United States, that would have been a bucket and we'd have celebrated the greatness. But you just can't. That's one of the things we can't change, or it'll fundamentally affect the game.
Well, I actually hear they're going to test out letting this stuff kind of happen in the WNBA. They're going to let girls do putback dunks.
You're going to get us in trouble, man.
If they want. They're not going to do the in the cylinder rule. So if they want to throw it back down, if Caitlin wants to go up and hammer one down, she's going to be allowed to.
They're going to put the trampolines like that trampoline basketball.
No, bro.
Oh.
They're just like the men.
Okay.
They're treated just like the men. I expect this to be sometime in the next season or two. They're gonna test this out. I think you got to give some credit to the Mavs though here. Because it's real easy to say, well, the T-Wolves kind of blew this thing, and they're maybe because they were the favorites, maybe the excuse making started early, and it started, unfortunately, I don't like excuse makers, but I've also kind of fallen in love with Anthony Edwards, and Anthony Edwards, he had one locked and loaded last night.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, y'all can see it was a step behind everybody, especially myself. Kyrie got a transition layup from, I think we scored, and he just outran me. I was just exhausted, man. So, yeah, for sure. But we'll be all right.
Will you?
I don't know. And by the way, Kyrie's pretty fast, and to say, oh well, Kyrie beat me.
Hussein just outran me there at the end. I thought I had him, but he pulled away.
I thought that there were a couple key moments there. I thought Karl Anthony Towns, that the putback that would have tied it, and then when they were down 4, Karl Anthony Towns took a 3
deep,
and it hit just about every part of the rim and didn't go in. The Wolves got the rebound and put it back in, but they only got 2 instead of 3. So they were down 2. They fouled Kyrie. He made both his free throws, so they're back down 4. And then Mike Conley gets to the line, and I thought this was key. Makes the first free throw, misses the second. And if you make that second,
they still had work to do.
No doubt. It would have been very difficult. But you missed that second, and now with 1.9 or whatever it was, you have to get a tap back and then hit a 3. It's a lot of work. Whereas if you make the second one and listen, if you're a 91% free throw shooter, you probably have enough control of your shot that you can do a high arcing shot.
Oh, they practiced
and get a high
rebound. They were going to run a play. They practiced. He knew exactly where to shoot the ball. They had a plan in place. There was going to be some kind of downward pick, some kind of slide to get a guy up to either tip it out real quick. They were going to run something. This would not be like, let's hope it bounces this way. He shot that shot to miss it 100 times.
Well, and they put Gobert in.
Mm-hmm. They knew exactly what the plan was.
It was Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns at the basket. You knew they're expecting this ball to go up in the air, the third free throw, and they're expecting one of these two guys to go up and get it and throw it down. And Conley misses the second free throw, and it basically just gave them no chance.
See the way Luka reacted?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I walked away like, all right, we'll call it.
Yeah. No, I think there's the Mavs deserve credit. This was a good win for them.
It struck me last night, and I think this is a good thread. We talked a lot about how the Timberwolves were built to beat Denver. I mean, they looked at Denver and said, how are we going to beat these guys? And went and got a bunch of big mobile dudes to kind of lock around it and surround Joker. It appeared to me the P.J. Washington move was the Mavericks being built to beat the T-Wolves. When they went and got P.J., that got the cat equation taken care of. Not only do they have a guy that can get out and defend him a little bit, but he can also pull him out and hit threes. And I think that made the Mavericks were built the way the T-Wolves were built to beat a very specific team. With Gafford and Lively, they are as big and mobile as the T-Wolves.
Yeah, and we'll see if those dudes hold up, over the course of the series. But certainly a good start for them. When we come back, I want to talk about the All-NBA team and where I was right and Rob was wrong.
It's a travesty.
It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Antonio's Sports Star.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? Fog between the glass? Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace.
If you've put off replacing windows because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door.
Just text BUY to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year.
That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month.
Text BUY to 200-300 right now. Text the word BUY to 200-300. Don't wait. Text BUY to to 200 300.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Yeah, here we go. Morning Huddle 941 San Antonio Sports Star. Boom, 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 boom. The All-NBA team was announced
with a significant absence.
Omission, we like to call it. An omission.
Overt omission. Man.
You all right?
I'm good. I'm good. You were right. I'm wrong. I'm. And once you look at the list, when you really see it, you go, I get it.
I think yesterday I predicted the first team to a man. SGA, Jokic, Luka, Giannis, Tatum.
That was hard. I'm not giving you any flowers for that.
No?
No. I'll give you you were right about Wemby. Predicting those 5, yeah, that was
right.
Easy.
Jalen Brunson was the only guy that was in the conversation. Tatum, he beats out Jalen Brunson for the 5th spot. Second team.
Let's stop right there. You get the sense of when the ballots were sent in by that?
I feel like they were at the end of the regular season.
But Brunson had gotten hot by then, right? Didn't he close the season out with like 5?
Yeah.
So I got the sense that the All-NBA team vote came in before that little run that Brunson had. If it was that close.
But no, if Brunson hadn't had that little run, I don't think
it brought him up that high?
I think so,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I had it graded a little bit higher.
Second team was Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis. You took umbrage with the Kawhi.
I do. I mean, you guys kind of set me straight. In my mind,
he
he's
played
a 20
more
minute
games
a
than you
night,
thought.
and yeah, probably he had to play 66 games. But no, he played a full and respectful season. But I still stand by. We're picturing Kawhi and going, well, at his best. And last night he's still not 100%. But if he was, he's second team All NBA. He's not at his best very often.
No, I mean that's fair, but he did have a relatively healthy season.
And, I'm not going to quibble once I saw the numbers, but do you believe he had a better year than Paul George?
I think they were probably pretty similar. But I think when you factor in defense, I'd say yeah. I think
proof's in the pudding.
Third team, LeBron James.
Let's see, reputation, baby.
I think he had a really good season.
There's a lot of really good seasons this year. That's not all NBA third team, though.
Steph Curry, Domantas Sabonis, Tyrese Halliburton, Devin Booker. Now, the guys who didn't make it. The next.
Well, there's one guy, and then there's everybody else.
Who's the one guy?
The next guy, because notice the vote counts. It goes from a lot to nothing.
So Jaylen Brown, 50 votes for third team. So he's got 50 points. Devin Booker had 70 points because he got some second team votes. There were 3 points, whereas there were no first or second team votes for Jaylen Brown. So, and then from 50 points, there's a significant drop off. Paul George, 16 third place votes. Tyrese Maxey had 16
That's
points.
That's a name we did not consider, and he was rightfully he deserves third team All NBA.
Especially because, he carried that team after the guy who would have been the MVP of the league missed a good chunk of the season. Rudy Gobert got 12 votes, 12 points. Victor Wembanyama and Zion Williamson, both with 11. Vic got 2 second team votes.
Both San Antonio writers, I'm sure.
Why do they have 99 people vote instead of 100? Is that odd to you?
There's a song.
Maybe, yeah, there's a song. Paolo with 10, De'Aaron Fox with 9, Bam Adebayo had 7, and DeMar DeRozan got a single third team vote.
You know how you look at the top 40 back in the day when you look at the top and they'd have an arrow up or an arrow down, like which way they're going. It's funny how you look at that second and third team and you go, which way are these arrows pointing? And then most of those second and third team, the arrow's pointing down. I mean, we're not going to see a couple of these names very much longer on these.
LeBron and Steph Curry are probably so just looking at second and third team, KD's probably running out of these.
Anthony Davis
probably running out. Kawhi probably running out. LeBron running out. Steph running out.
Paul George. running out.
Paul George didn't make a team.
Oh, that's true.
He was an honorable mention.
Okay, now so we figured that's going to change. What if we had Ja Morant and Joel Embiid for a full season? Who would have been knocked out of these top 15 dudes?
Well, I mean, based on the vote count, Tyrese Halliburton and Devin Booker.
I wonder if it would have changed the dynamics of how you voted according to the position groups that are available, like guard. Who would that kick down?
Would they
have that affected? Because I
still think there are some people who are old school and will only give one first team vote to a center.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't mention this, but 2 guys were unanimous first team. Nikola Jokic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The only 2 guys that on all 99 ballots, first team.
God, if you're Oklahoma City, what a gift from God.
Yeah.
Shai Gilgeous is.
Luka was very close. 98 first team votes, 1 second team vote. So that's the most votes you could have and not be unanimous. Giannis, 88 first team votes, and Tatum 65. The only Jalen Brunson had 37. So that nobody else had more than 3 first team votes, and that was Anthony Edwards. So there was a really clear line.
There are, according to the votes, there are 16 great NBA players according to the votes, and we can't include Ja and Joel for whatever reason, but according to that, there are 18 great NBA players, and there is a chasm after that.
Yeah, but now mind you, guys like Tyrese Maxey,
he's an arrow up guy.
Guys like Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox, these are arrow up. Paolo, these are arrow up guys.
So they're going to be, and I cannot wait for those guys to be there. I'm tired of Steph. Yeah, okay, 3rd team All NBA. That's just one of those participation ribbons. He just had to put on a uniform to get that because it's Steph. And I look at LeBron the same way, though he earned a little bit more. But Steph, clutch player of the year and 3rd team All NBA. Yeah, okay. But did he really earn it? Is he really the 3rd team NBA shooting guard? Really?
I mean, he was top 10 in scoring this year.
Yeah, you're right. And there's a lot of guys that if they were in the same uniform and not Steph Curry's quality, that would have put up the same numbers because it's Golden State and he's Steph.
I think there's no doubt. Like, I think when you look at, if you put Steph Curry's numbers next to De'Aaron Fox's numbers this season, boy, they are hard to tell apart. They are really hard to tell apart.
Now, does the NFL function on such
when it comes to like all pro?
Like you have to have done it 2 years in a row to even be considered. And once you are considered, you have to have failed at it for 2 years to be discounted.
That's interesting. So I would say this last year's all pro team, I mean, Lamar Jackson was the MVP. So he obviously was first team all pro.
But did he really have the first team all pro season, or was it Lamar Jackson doing mostly Lamar Jackson things? But he really was an all pro and a best guy for a couple years, and maybe 1 or 2 he didn't get it. So this year we'll give it to him.
Here's why I would say, like, had Mahomes had a normal Mahomes year and they'd still made Lamar first team, I'd say it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But because Mahomes had an off year, and I think the NFL rewarded it justly.
Okay.
And
I've always gotten the sense that baseball was probably a little bit more of a reputation thing, just because the long game that baseball is.
Well, also the baseball vote is so much decided by fans that, I mean, people go to the stadium, they see names. Like, I used to love doing this when I was a kid, filling out the little bubble forms. Right. If you're like, oh, do I choose this guy or this guy? Who's having a better season? Well, this guy's the bigger star.
Right. I like him more. He plays for a team I like.
It's who I want to see play.
So I've always felt like the NBA was a meritocracy in that all you had to do was be moderately successful the year before and get yourself on the list. And once you're on the list, if you had the year that was better than LeBron, you would be rewarded for that. Not that has happened, but you could really go out and get it, because basketball, you can really show pretty quick and make a genuine effect on your team, even if you're Caitlin or Wemby. But you can do that. And it just felt like with this vote, all these old dudes still Bam Adebayo Bam is third team All NBA.
No,
with all these young guys running around.
Not
You're
anymore.
telling me Bam had a better year than Paolo?
I think only 2 people gave Bam any votes, but yeah, it's tough for me to wrap my head around that. But when you go through the guys who made it, it's like, well, I mean,
it's hard to argue the first 2 teams. I won't quibble. You were right. Wemby, when stacked apples to apples, didn't belong there. He didn't.
And Wemby's gonna make these teams
close. And I think he was discounted because, well, LeBron's still playing and Anthony Davis. Congratulations, Anthony, for staying healthy. We're gonna make you an All NBA guy because you did more than anything else. You just stayed on the court.
I mean, and that's how Kawhi made it this year.
Exactly.
Like,
so congratulations.
if you're qualified this year, we're going to throw you on there.
You're healthy, so we're going to give you an award that, quite frankly, you probably deserve for a summation of work over the years, other than this year.
I will say I was glad that Domantas Sabonis made it because he is still an 82 game a year guy. Those are so rare. So for him, I'm good with him being rewarded.
Respect.
Like, he doesn't have the gaudy numbers that some of these other guys have.
Double machine. Respect.
I'm a fan of his, and I love that he doesn't load manage. If that was what we still call it, if that's still the proper term. But that's the guys who Wemby is going to be comped to, because generally there's going to be bigs, and this was a year where you knew Jokic was there. Anthony Davis was healthy enough, and then the third center ends up being Sabonis. Imagine if Embiid is healthy next year. It's a tough hill to climb for guys like Wembanyama, especially if they keep counting him as a center. But we know he's going to be on these lists eventually. It's just this year, and I think it's also important to note when you look at the guys who made these teams. If I'm not mistaken, I'm scrolling through this thing. I guess Steph did not make the playoffs. He technically made the play-in.
It's not the playoffs. They're very careful to tell you that.
The only guy besides Steph that didn't make the playoffs was Wemby. Like, they got any votes.
And respect for that.
So I think there's something to, you got to have some team success to really get recognized as one of the All NBA guys. Like, to be an All-Star, no. Like, they'll put a guy from a bad team on the All-Star team, but at the end of the year, when all the games have been played, everything's tallied up, and they look and say, well, this guy won 22 games, they're going to treat you different. Now there's sometimes you get to a point where they don't care anymore. They got that way with Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, where it's like,
it's not enough.
They're like, well, this guy's so much better than everybody. It doesn't matter if they win games. But in the NBA right now, I think they're looking at it and they're like, well, if we can if we can vote for Wemby and he won 22 games, or we can vote for, Sabonis, who's taken a Sacramento team and put them in the playoffs, that's what they're going to do. Even though Wemby, who carried a heavier load, I don't think it's any doubt that Wemby carried a heavier load for his team. But at some point, you got to count in that team success. All right.
And it's coming.
Let's hit a break, and when we come back, I want to get into some NFL talk. We haven't got to talk a whole lot, but a lot of quotes coming out of Cowboys OTAs, including Dak making an announcement that may be shocking, but maybe very good news for Jerry Jones. It's Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, it is a big day. We're going to be live out at the Roo Pub. Always a lot of fun.
Get you ready for tonight's NBA game, and the Dallas Stars get their conference final series underway. React to what we saw last night. Plus, we'll talk with John McClain at 5:15. The Blitz live out at the Roo Pub. We get going at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
These guys around the country made a fan page
for
us. So, Rico Suave, what is it that stimulated you about our program?
It's a love of the show, man.
What would you like to see us do more of since you're a P1 listener?
Girls on trampolines during the break there, pre-K.
Man.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Pack the Dome this Saturday for Hats Off to Heroes as the San Antonio Brahmas play their final home game of the season against the Birmingham Stallions. The playoff push is on for the San Antonio Brahmas, and it's a yellow out to display our support for our troops. Wear yellow, help us support our troops, and be loud for the final home game of the season. It's the Brahmas against Birmingham Saturday afternoon at 2 in the Alamo Dome. Get your tickets now at theufl.com. That's theufl.com. Vamos Brahmas!
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2706. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-2706. That's 800-575-2706. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyer4us.com.
Get ready, San Antonio. Baseball Express and Team Express are hosting the event of the season. This Saturday, stop by 1003 East Nakoma for a chance to pop a balloon and get up to 100% off your purchase, up to $500. Only 250 balloons are available, so come early. Baseball Express and Team Express have gear for every sport, team uniforms, and top brand apparel. Clearance items up to 60% off. Use code CTE10 for an extra 10% off. Team Express, all sports, all the time. Visit teamexpress.com for more details.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-5407. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-5407. That's 800-575-5407. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
The NFL is on. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 941, San Antonio Sports Star. I was talking to the break. One guy said Luka's not a first-team All-NBA. I said, I bet it was Stephen A. Smith, just kind of jokingly. And then I thought about it, and I was like, no, that's probably true. Because
wasn't there a vote for Brunson first team?
Yeah.
I wonder who that
and
was.
I was like, that had to be, right?
Did Archie Diacono make his list? Anybody else from New York, Villanova, anything that would help?
But Jalen Brunson had 37 first-team votes. one of them had to be from Stephen A. And we know that SGA was unanimous. So if you got two guard votes first team, that would have been them.
If you'd have woke up at the beginning of the year and told somebody Shai Gilgeous is going to be a unanimous
first team
all NBA player.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that would have been kind of a long shot.
A testament to a lot of things that are going on very well in Oklahoma City.
But how about this? If I had said, yeah, he'll be unanimous all first team. Second team will be Jalen Brunson and Anthony Edwards. Would you have
Brunson's a surprise. I'm not going to say I saw it. No one did. Anthony Edwards, there was a trajectory. You knew that guy had every possible avenue to get to where he's going. But Brunson has been a revelation. And
no doubt.
And the Mavericks, they wouldn't be where they are if they still had Brunson. But I'm sure they're looking at him going, what the hell were we thinking? How did we let this guy go?
Well, and how did we not pay him less than although listen, what they're happy with what Kyrie, especially today, they're probably not.
I know we're going to talk Cowboys and money, but before we head to guys that will do it for free, Jalen Brunson, by the standards set by the NBA Players Association in the most recent agreement, the way that you pay your supermax is you can only get your supermax money from the team that drafted you.
Yeah,
you get the sense that the Knicks might have known what was coming, because they traded for the cat who blew up, and now they don't have to pay him the supermax.
Yeah, and they don't have to pay Kyrie a supermax either.
Right.
Although my guess is Kyrie's supermax days are probably done.
But they're going to have to. I mean, the way that they found the gap in there, brilliance, and I think they'll fix that though.
Dakota Prescott, he said something that's got to be music to Jerry's ears. Now, this is a lie that he said, but he said it, and now, when there's some sort of hold up or hold out, but we're going to go back to this and say, but I thought, but here's what Dak had to say yesterday.
I don't play for money. Never have, never cared for it, to be honest with you. Would give it up just to play this game. So I allow that to the business people to say what it's worth, what they're supposed to give a quarterback of my play, person of my play, leader of my play, I guess you can say. And for me, it's about, as I said, control. I can control and handle that part, and the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah. That's a nice thing to say. And I believe Dak when he says he doesn't care about money. He just cares about the stuff that money can buy.
Yeah, I don't need money. I just need everything that it buys.
He's like, I just get that money and trade it for stuff.
You'll just pay me in trips and private jets and mansions. Then
I
don't need money.
Yeah, but I mean, I need money to buy toys for my Tigers, and
Now,
what are they going to do? Just not play with toys?
I did. He was trying to be Dakota, and it's all about the game. I'm here to just lead.
Sure,
but you did catch that right after that. He said,
I'll leave that
to let the business people to discuss a player of my play, a player of my leadership. So he did kind of put his foot back in the circle. He did
player of my playoff success.
So we didn't go that far, but he didn't completely divorce himself from the process. And at the same time, can you imagine? You make 3% of what you negotiate for your client. So I am here to squeeze as much lemon juice out of this lemon as I can get. And my clients out there say, well, I don't need any money. Well, dude, you're taking money out of my pocket when you say
say that.
So you better say I'm willing to hold out because my agent got 3 divorces he's got to pay for.
Dak, more on Dak's contract.
Business is business. I'll leave it where it gets handled. Right now, it's about being my best for this team right now in this moment. OTA's helping these guys out and just focused on that. And I know my business will take care of itself. And so been in it before, experienced, and just controlling what I can right now.
This is all the stuff that he's supposed to say.
Well, on the other side of that, he's been here before, and every time I've gotten the best of Jerry. So I've been here before, and every time it's worked out pretty well for me. So I think it's going to be okay.
I ain't worried about this because at the end of the day, my agent is smarter than my owner. Or my governor. What is it the NFL they call it governor? That's the NBA they call them governors, right? Yeah. NFL, I think it's still owners, but Dak says my agent's better at negotiating than my owner is, so I'm not worrying about those types of things.
Do you like that he said it that way, or would you have rather them be more honest?
I don't know. Like, I don't want it to sound like he's pouting about money, because again, we all know that Dak did better than you could have imagined him doing in the last negotiation. Like I thought Dak got more than he should have gotten in that negotiation. But also I think back to Dak wildly outperformed his first NFL contract. So there's ebbs and flows, obviously. I just know that Dak's about to be paid like the top guy in the world, and he's not that.
And I wish that there's a lot of things I don't like about Aaron Rodgers. But I think what would Aaron Rodgers say or do if he was in Dak Prescott's shoes right now? I think he would question everything that happened around him. I think Aaron would be the first one to say, you're not going to pay me, but you're not going to pick up a free agent. You're not going to pay me, but you're doing this. I think he would call out, and I think it's time for somebody on the team to tell us that the owner has no clothes. The king is an idiot. Look at what your owner has done.
Well, if I am Dak, I'm also wondering, like, hey, I get you're waiting and seeing with me, but what's up with CD Lamb?
Where's Micah? Did anybody notice he's not here? No CD Lamb, and you're talking about my contract? Let's talk about where we are today.
Yeah.
Because he can leave and make a whole bunch of money. He's the only guy there that will benefit by absolute failure, because no matter where he is next year, he's going to make $60 million.
Yeah. No, you're right. No, it is a weird situation. But I mean, I guess I'm happy that Dak's there to answer the questions. But I don't know. He's not being honest.
Well, this is a team that needs a Dez, that needs a Terrell, that needs a vocal dude that says, what's going on around here ain't going to work.
Yeah. I don't know that guy's coming. It's certainly not going to be Dak.
No.
It's certainly not going to be Dak. All right. I forgot. We got to give away ACL wristbands, or try to give them away. And here's the deal. San Antonio Sports Star has 3-day wristbands for ACL Music Festival, October 11th through 13th. You listen to the Huddle here, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, and the Blitz, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, and 5:30. You'll get qualified to win a pair 3-day wristbands to week 2 of ACL Fest. One winner from each show will be chosen at random at the end of the week, and they will win a pair of 3-day weekend passes. So that's an exciting time. And if you don't win, you can always buy your wristbands at aclfest.com. Here's the question. Here is the question. If you go, I read off everybody who received a single All-NBA vote. I read them to you. I'm making it tough today.
This one's difficult.
I want to know, based on season-long scoring average, points per game, who scored the most points per game this season that didn't get a single All-NBA vote this year? First person to answer that question, you, friend, are registered to win those 3-day passes to ACL. So there you go. It's going to be a tough one. Rob, you know the answer?
No, I'm actively
656-37
typing as fast as I can.
76. Let me know when you've got it, Rob. I want to know.
No, that's not it. That's all time.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm buffering. Buffering.
You're not going to get it. Yeah.
No, dude, I found it. Well, no.
Think you know it?
Is he still playing, but not on the list? Not, because I might be looking at points per game. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm right. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the guy. Got no votes. First team or second or
he's
third team.
Everybody's little brother.
And he's a guy who's undergone a transformation.
Yeah. You can rehab.
Turning into a butterfly.
You change your spots at a later.
That's what I think is happening. Spots or stripes or one of those things. I don't really know what it is, but there's been a change. The other thing going on with Vaquero de Dallas is the saga of Trey Lance. What do you think Trey Lance ever starts a regular season game for the Cowboys? I heard Joe Reinagle yesterday or the day before say that Trey Lance is the long-term solution at quarterback for the Cowboys?
I think they're dreaming that they would like that to be the answer. And
well, the 49ers were dreaming that too. And then they like, this isn't a real thing.
You know,
we pick Sam Darnold over you.
There's so many things that come into play to get a backup quarterback on the field. You know, there's the misplay of the quarterback. It could be the quarterback might not have anything to do with getting replaced. Sometimes you just need to change the quarterback to change the rhythm. You got a quarterback that's running out of time, that still doesn't have a contract. And if he doesn't get one in training camp, it ain't going to happen during the regular season. Let's forecast what a lot of experts say, an 8-9 season. So let's go 500 in the middle of November. They're coming off a losing streak. I don't think it's that outrageous to think that you might throw Lance in if you've got a quarterback that might be gone next year and a head coach that might be gone next year. And you're running at 500 with no playoff potential. I don't think it's outrageous to say that Trey Lance doesn't get some snaps this year as quarterback. So I think it's possible, maybe even probable, that we see him take a few snaps this year.
We still haven't. No one's called in with the correct answer.
Oh, come on!
Bad guesses. Listen. I've seen it on the
There's
brigade
one
bar.
particular person that they keep saying, but it's wrong. Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey got a vote. Sorry, I've seen it in the brigade bar. They know.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is call in, boys. When you guys call in, get this thing done. The thing to remember about Trey Lance is, even though he's now been in the league for 3 years, he's younger than Michael Penix Jr., who just got drafted. So there's still, it's not like all the treads off the tires with Trey Lance. He's still a young guy. It's just hard for me to imagine that if he was going to do it, it feels like he would have done it by now.
Yes. I mean, there's a reason why they traded him, and there's a reason why there hasn't been glowing review. Trust me, if Trey Lance would have been killing it in practice, we'd have known.
That's what I'm
There'd
saying.
have been cameras on him dropping dimes and rolling out and pinpoint accuracy. We'd already known that, and we haven't seen it.
And if Trey Lance were killing it in practice in San Francisco, they wouldn't have picked Sam Darnold over him.
Yes.
Because they would have said, okay, we've got this untapped potential. We've got a guy in Brock Purdy that we like, but we're not paying him anything. So we've already invested this in Trey Lance. Let's see what happens with these two guys. And if Trey Lance was killing it in practice, they say, eventually we're going to have this great asset. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't have given him up for a 4th-round pick after you spent 3 first-rounders to get him if he could play. I don't know if he can play. Listen, I know when he was drafted, it was known this is not going to be a day one guy. I think the 49ers understood day one, this guy's not going to show up and be like a baller. I get that.
Can we play?
It's been a while now.
I want you to, do we have the McCarthy sound of him talking about his quarterback or his backup quarterback? Because, normally when you're talking about a guy you like and you want to protect him, you say a bunch of positive stuff, but you don't pinpoint anything actually great. You just say he's a great kid. He works hard. He's thinking and doing all that kind of stuff. Listen to McCarthy talk about his current backup quarterback.
I mean, there's thresholds in development for every position. I mean, quarterback's no different, and Trey's no different. I mean, obviously he had a prior experience in San Francisco. So, I mean, that's obviously an experience that he'll always be able to draw from. And then, we're involved in a different offense and just the way the position's played, which is, it's played differently for every quarterback in every organization. So, so my point is he's crossing the thresholds of training. I've been very, very pleased. The athletic ability is top notch. We've adjusted some things, in his, not only his motion is I'm going to get into specifics of that, but you can see the improvement, the timing, and in young quarterbacks, and he's no different. He just need reps, and we're trying to get him as many reps as we can throughout this offseason program, and he will take a large part of the preseason. That's the design. So him and I talk about preseason quite often.
Not regular season.
We're building towards.
Yeah, don't get any ideas, Bubba.
We talk a lot about August football.
Yeah. And man, you're going to be the king of August. I'm telling you that
now.
now.
A ringing endorsement. In fact, I think he let something slip. There's something wrong with his throwing motion. We've been working really hard on. I don't want to get into that.
We're not going to get into the details of it.
What?
But man, you see this guy. He walks in the room. And it's like, wow, this guy looks like a football player. But then you see him practice football, and we're not going to talk about that. But He looks like a hell of a player.
And, he didn't just get here, Mike. He's been here a year. It's not a new offense. He's had opportunity to run with the ones at least once or twice. He's probably been in Dak's backyard. I get the sense that the offense is no longer new, but you're telling me it is? That's another concern.
Josh Aldana, the winner of the 7:30 giveaway, he knew Kyrie Irving, most points per game without a single All-NBA vote. All right, when we come back, hour number 3, we've got some technological advances in the NFL that I've been pounding the table. Hear that? Pounding the table for. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
There are a lot of benefits and blessings to living a life of gratitude. Our hearts are lightened and not so easily weighed down by the negativity we seem to swim in. We're more optimistic about life, less pessimistic, more enthusiastic, less resentful, more in tune with beauty. And the great thing about gratitude is it's something you can grow in every day. You can start a gratitude journal and write down 5 things you're grateful for each day. You can end each conversation with the words, I appreciate you, or we have so much to be grateful for. These are just a couple of things that you can start immediately, today, right now, to grow in gratitude. One other thing you can do is to take a moment to show gratitude to a person who has blessed your life by saying thank you to them. If you have a mother you're grateful for, when is the last time you told her? Or maybe it's a father, a spouse, or a friend. The thing is, we're finite beings on earth, which means that we have a finite number of days to say to them, thank you. This is Mark Absher with the MacArthur Park Church of Christ. Visit our church online at macarthurchurch.org. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 toward the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. Who else does this? And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention homeowners. You know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? Fog between the glass? Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace.
If you've put off replacing windows because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door.
Just text BUY to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year.
That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month.
Text BUY to 200-300 right now. Text the word BUY to 200-300. Don't wait. Text BUY to 200-300.
You want another way to add excitement to watching the NBA playoffs? Jason Minix here. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It is a fan favorite way to play fantasy sports, especially playing the Pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your Pick'em entry, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. Endless projections to choose from. It is fantasy and it is legal in Texas. So get started by going to the easy-to-use Underdog Fantasy mobile app or go to the website underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first Pick'em entry and a deposit offer. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, sign up using my promo code STAR at underdogfantasy.com.
Score a trip for 4 to Orlando's most magical theme park, including airfare and hotel. Register now to win at SanAntonioSportsStar.com. San Antonio Sports Center.
The NBA playoffs continue. Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals went to the Dallas Mavericks as they took a 108-105 win over the Timberwolves. The Eastern Conference Finals head to Game 2 tonight as Jason Tatum and the Celtics look to take a 2-0 advantage over Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 100% satisfaction guarantee.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 3 getting underway here on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson getting hard into your ear holes, baby. Hard into your ear holes. If you're new to the show, welcome in. If you're old to the show, welcome back. We'd like you to tell your friends. We're trying to grow an audience here. We want to build this thing up.
And you can tell them how bad we are.
If you do,
You can be honest.
Again, I've heard a couple. I've got a lot of positive reviews from the people. Gotten a couple negative ones.
Man, you need the
as
bad
long
ones
as
too.
you're talking, baby.
Right.
Keep up tell your friends, say, hey, try it out. And if they suck, tell one of your friends how bad they suck. And then we'll prove you wrong. Or we won't, and we won't be here tomorrow. That's the two choices, basically, is what we've been told by management. There have been advances made, Rob Thompson.
Finally.
I'm excited about this. This is something that I believe.
And the ramifications of this are going to ripple through the country.
And it's going to be faster.
Straight to your backyard.
In the words of Fleetwood Mac, we may never break the chain.
Well done.
But we may just get rid of it altogether. And the NFL this preseason is going to optical tracking system for line to gain rulings. It is going to be tried at every stadium this preseason. And if it goes well, it could be implemented full time for the upcoming 2024 NFL regular season. I am for this. I hate the idea that we don't really know if it's a first down, but we're going to let this old ass system that we've been using since the leather helmet days decide.
It works.
Does it?
Well, I mean, does anybody ever actually go before the game and measure, are these chains actually?
No
10
one
yards?
knows. No one knows. Here's the thing with and if you're worried, and Rob was worried about this, he's like, we can't put these guys out of work. These fat guys.
The fat guys are going to need something to do on Sundays and Saturdays now.
I worry for those guys because they get a lot of broken legs because they can't get out of the way quickly. And, these football players roll into their legs and then, there's like pie filling spilling out of their broken bones. It's terrible.
It's great. What are you talking about?
Well,
I mean, I watch racing for a couple of reasons, and one of them is not just the acceleration, the sudden deceleration, if you know what I mean. I kind of like watching fat guys getting taken out.
I'm trying to be human here, but the truth is I do like to watch people get hurt. And listen, the guys who run those chains on the sidelines are paid exorbitant amounts of money to do it. Like we're talking Dak Prescott type money. So take those are the chances you take. But they will still have jobs on the sideline.
They're not going to get rid of them.
They will be used as a backup for game operations in case, for whatever reason, there's a failure in the technology, and they will also be used as a reference point for
this is bad, man.
Coaches and players.
This isn't going to work out well because what's going to happen is these dudes are not going to be used for like weeks on end. Like they're going to be 3 or 4 weeks, and these guys will be standing on the sideline. And by the 3rd week, they're not going to be paying attention, just kind of standing there. And suddenly all the crap's going to break, and we're not going to know where the ball should be because the 2 ball dudes haven't worked in a month, just grabbing a check and standing on the sidelines.
For a long time now, like I'm talking for years, there has been a microchip in footballs. And if you go to the whole reason Next Gen Stats exists is because of the microchips that they've put in footballs and pads. They are able to, they can tell you how many rotations per second a football makes because of these microchips. But for whatever reason, they had been averse to using those chips to determine where the ball actually is when someone's down. They tried it out last year at MetLife and Hard Rock. They would have to put it in.
I didn't know they tried it. Did they tell us they were?
No, they did not tell us they tried it, but they tried it at MetLife and Hard Rock last year, which is New York and Miami. And they will have to put in I guess the framework for this technology.
Now, you said it's photo. I thought it was like something in the carpet and the chip.
So it's microchipped, and it's not necessarily photo. It's more like there's like a laser line that's going to be made, and say this laser is the line to gain. There will still be issues with spotting. You know, like the ref is still going to spot the ball where he sees it.
So I thought that was going to be part of the chip process too.
That's the next level, and I can't wait for that. But we're not going to have to like take up the time to bring the chain
and
gang
no more
out
note card like the ref had to use that one time to tell us that it was not a first down.
But eventually, I think we're going to get to that, and that's the thing. This is the preliminary thing to a more accurate measuring system that we don't have to deal with. Oh, the ref saw this is where they went down. Like eventually it'll just be figured out that, okay, the ball moved 10 yards. This is a first down. But we're not there yet, but this is the start. And I, for one, I'm all on board.
So this is here. Tennis has been using the Cyclops for what? A couple years now?
I think 5 more years. Than that.
Yeah, it's been a minute, and it's been fun.
Almost 10.
And I don't recall any problem with that at all. Not once.
Because we trust it.
Baseball, we're not quite all in on the robotic strike caller guy. How far away are we from that in baseball?
I don't know. Because sometimes I see that robot strike zone, and I can tell when a pitch is breaking, and I'm like, they'll always mark it where the catcher catches it.
And a great catcher can place it. But
yeah, and that's not, but that's not where it crosses the
so
plate.
That technology has not caught up yet.
Right.
Okay.
I do think that there's going to be a time where each player is going to, like, when you come up to the bat, there's going to be technology that knows this is
like that's
your height. These are your measurements. This is what your strike zone is going to be, and it's going to be to each corner of the plate. And when you come up to bat, they're going to know. You'll be measured before you have your first major league at bat. And that's going to be your strike zone. They'll probably recalibrate it once a year or something like that and make sure. But a strike is a strike and a ball is a ball, and that's just going to be what it is. But I don't think it's quite there yet. But I do think that, especially when it comes to grading umpires and stuff like that, that technology is very valuable.
And I think for what we're talking about specifically, as we endeavor to shorten game times and, allow more time for commercials and less time for play and keep the same amount of entertainment value. This is valuable to the leagues. I mean, it cuts down on a lot of time wasted as we're waiting for the clock guy to run out and stretch the chain, and it matters.
I went to an Aviators game last year, which the Aviators are the A's AAA team, which they maybe could beat the A's on the right day, but there was a strikeout call, and the batter stepped out of the box and gave the headphone thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they went back and they said, nope, that's not a strikeout. That was a ball.
Well, that
technology is
counter to what I was talking about, though. That slows things down.
In a way, it does slow things down, but we've got to say, like, what's important, getting it right or going at the proper pace. There has to be a balance. And I know there's people who like the human element of these things. I care more about getting things right than the human element. Like there's so much money being risked on not necessarily on a minor league baseball game, but on any given NFL Sunday. I don't want a referee's decision to impact which way that money goes. Now there's some things, the pass interferences, holdings, those are ways that humans will all, I don't want to say always, but will for the foreseeable future still impact the game.
And we
greatly.
want a human eye deciding if it's holding or not, right?
Because otherwise there's holding always.
Play, right? So we'd have to, the let them play idea, I mean, let everybody hold, or there could be no holding, one or the other. There's no in between.
There is none.
Now, is it possible to use this robotic technology to say defensive pass interference and that kind of stuff? I mean, that's kind of out in the open in a lot of camera angles. We might be able to fix that first, right?
Because it's still a judgment call, so it's still going to be incidental contact, whatever, things like that. And so I don't think so, but I do think that we're going to be able to look at it at, like, for offsides.
Mm-hmm.
Like if a pass rusher is taken off and they're going to say, he beat the snap, or he was on this side of the line or wasn't on this side of the line when the snap actually happened, we're going to know
encroachment,
because there'll be something on the crown of your helmet that says you crossed this laser line before the snap. That's a penalty.
I think we're down. I will say this. I will never be comfortable with any event where there's not a human being at least there to enforce the rule. I don't ever want to watch a game. Like sometimes you watch tennis and there's beep and it's the robot making the decision. I feel like we've lost all human element. And I want to make sure that there's always a guy with a hat and a striped shirt explaining, or at least able to override whatever issue comes up.
So I think there will be. And it's like, there's cars now in Vegas, Rob. I don't know. You were there recently.
Yeah, I've taken the
driverless cars.
You get a little discount. So every now and then I'd take that one. Yeah.
But there's always a driver and there's always an operator in the car. Their hands aren't on the wheel. They're not making the decisions. The car is moving itself, and it is fascinating to see. But there's reasons why they, just in case something goes wrong, or for legal purposes, they need or let's say that car gets sideswiped. They need someone in that vehicle to be responsible for it. And I think it's the same thing with referees. There has to be someone there that if there's some injustice that's done, the manager or whoever can go out and say, hey, this is my grievance. We've got to take a deeper look at this. I don't think that's going away, at least not anytime soon.
As much as you legislate out the humanity in the sport, we still want a little bit of humanity.
Yeah, just a little bit,
just
though.
Enough.
Just a little bit. All right. Let's hit a break. When we come back, I guess we'll get into Tesla sex. And
why not? You say that so casually, like it was an option every day of our life.
How much of Rob's testicles are made of plastic? We'll find that out on the other side. It's 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We can rebuild him. If you're sitting today in pain, I want you to listen real close. Rosti providers are all around San Antonio with one mission in mind, and that is to get you out of pain in ways that you might not have considered. Because most of us, when we think pain relief, we think open a bottle, take a pill, and it'll get better. Well, so many of us deal with things that are not going to get better, that are just going to linger and stay painful. And I'm talking to you. Don't take the pill to hide it. Don't go have surgery to prolong it. Go to a Rosti and let them fix it. Because what a Rosti does is they let your body heal itself in really amazing ways that you might not have considered. Rosti is this combination of deep tissue massage and chiropractic and physical therapy and all other stuff that, man, just works. So if you're dealing with plantar fasciitis, you got bad feet, tension headaches, frozen shoulders and hips, strains or sprains all over, lower back issues, my goodness, they have saved me from a lot of days flat on the ground. I walked in, they accepted my insurance. I did not need a referral to go see them. So that's your cue to write this number down, 1-800-404-6050. If you can't remember that, remember Rosti, AIRROSTI.com. There's a list of all the providers, phone numbers you need, everything you need to get yourself going and get yourself healed. Listen close. Don't let pain. Oh, there's a fix out there. It's a Rosti. Call them today, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, it is a big day. We're going to be live out at the Roo Pub. Always a lot of fun.
Get you ready for tonight's NBA game, and the Dallas Stars get their conference final series underway. React to what we saw last night. Plus, we'll talk with John McClain at 5:15. The Blitz live out at the Roo Pub. We get going at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Kick off the summer with Family Dollar. Find what you need for warm weather fun, from disposable plates, hot dogs and grilling essentials, to sunscreen, bug repellent, and more. Stop by today to see how you can save at Family Dollar, helping you do more.
Dave Ramsey here. The only water softener I recommend is a quality water softener from Connecticut. It really is the last water softener you'll ever own.
ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Testosterone levels in men can start to decrease as early as 30 years old, and long-term health risks can be extremely damaging to your body. Rock's Discount Vitamins carries a variety of natural testosterone boosters that can immediately provide you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improve your mood. Rock's Discount Vitamins natural testosterone boosters can even help you build muscle and lose weight faster. With 11 San Antonio locations, visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. Thanking God and South Texas for all the support.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for my favorite game app. It is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Heck, I'm just one of 3 million active users. They're the easiest to play. They're the most exciting way to play your daily fantasy sports. And it's unlike other apps. On Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're a fantasy player. You know when it's more. You know when it's less. Up to 100 times your money according to how you play it. $1,000 on basketball, hockey, and college basketball entries. Today is the time to play. You can turn $10 into big money quick. The biggest moments in professional basketball are happening right now, and it's no fun unless you're playing. Go to Prize Picks right now and remember the code Alamo for your first deposit match of up to $100. That's the code Alamo. Prize Picks fantasy. You're playing already. Go win. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code Alamo, and up to $100 deposit match is coming. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
Summer starts now with Memorial Day appliance savings at Lowe's. Get up to 40% off. Plus, save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances from brands like KitchenAid. And right now, you can double your savings when you spend $2,500 or more. Shop in-store or online today, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Offer valid through 6/5. Savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details.
The 2024 NFL schedule, powered by AWS, has been released, and single game tickets are on sale now. That's every epic showdown, every classic rivalry, every primetime game. 17 games for all 32 teams. Visit NFL.com/tickets to purchase tickets today. The NFL Ticket Network, including Ticketmaster, SeatGeek, and Sports Illustrated Tickets, are the official marketplaces for NFL tickets.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started Wesley Financial Group to do one thing: help people get out of their timeshare. The timeshare company can raise your annual maintenance fees at will. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Want out of your timeshare? Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit.
Call 800-979-1771. That's 800-979-1771. 800-979-1771.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We like to have fun during the breaks.
I've been told you were dead. I got to be real here. I have no idea.
Rumors of my death
greatly exaggerated.
Greatly. You want to know how much plastic's in your testy satchel, or do you want to know about a man having sex with a Tesla?
Well, I think if I had sex with a Tesla, that would add to the plastic content. But so it might lead to one another. I want to know about my plastic content of my huevos.
You're going to be terrified at this. Remember the other day we were talking about the population decline and how it's a real concern?
Mm-hmm.
Scientists say that they have discovered maybe a reason why the population has gone down. Sperm count is down in general. It's been falling for decades. A lot of people blame things like pesticides and things like that.
I just thought that the next generation was a bunch of wimps.
Well, that's what I always thought too. But it turns out microplastics are taking over our balls.
Man.
I know.
And how is this occurring?
So scientists tested 23 human testicles as well as 47 dog testicles.
Why 47?
I don't know.
One dog got to keep one?
Well, the 23 human ones.
Well, so you got to keep
questioning that? I don't know. They found microplastic pollution in every single sample that they took. The study is basically, it demonstrates a correlation, although they say further research is needed to prove that microplastic cause sperm counts to fall.
So how am I getting these micro? Am I drinking them, eating them? Is that what's happening?
There's so many ways. It's chemical pollution, but microplastics have been discovered recently in human blood, placentas, breast milk. Basically, it's contaminating all of our bodies, but they do cause, these microplastics cause damage to human cells. Now, a lot of it has to do with the plastics that are dumped or burned or whatever into the environment.
Okay.
I mean, you can go to the top of Mount Everest and there might be a plastic bag up there. You go to the deepest part of the ocean, chances are good you're going to find some plastic there. But we consume them via food, via water. We breathe them in. And it was thought that, here's this professor. Professor Zhaozhong Yu.
Sound good to me.
XIAO
I think that's a Zhao.
Zhao, Z-H-O-N-G, Zhong, Zhao Zhong, Y-U, Zhao Zhong Yu.
I think you got it.
He's from, you'll never guess what university he's at.
University of Shanghai.
University of New Mexico, obviously. That is,
of course.
That's a New Mexican name. Sanchez is an old Mexican name.
Times have changed. That's Southern Mexico.
Zhao Zhong Yu is a new Mexican
East
name.
Mexico.
He says, at the beginning, I doubted whether microplastics could penetrate the reproductive system. When I first received results for dogs, I was surprised. I was even more surprised when I received the results for humans. These testes that were analyzed were obtained from postmortems in 2016 with men aging from 16 to 88 when they died. And the impact on the younger generation is more concerning because, there's more plastic in the environment than ever. And the dog's testes were obtained from veterinary practices operations. So these dogs were alive. The human testicles had a plastic concentration almost 3 times higher than the dog testes.
Can I get rid of it? Can I filter it out? Am I stuck with it forever?
I mean, again, they're in your food. Are you going to stop eating?
Well, I mean, kind of like a
drinking?
filter, like a cheesecloth to catch the plastic.
Yes, you're going to be asked to wear a mask from now on and have people point at you and shame you going forward.
Well, I mean, maybe to keep from breathing it in. You've generally got me worried here.
I mean, you should be worried. Like these things, it's like and they say these microplastics, they look like almost like a confetti. So there's a good percentage now of your balls that are made of, or at least
plastic confetti,
being poisoned by plastic confetti.
That explains some things.
It does.
I've been eating a lot of green plastic, evidently.
Uh-huh.
That's a story from my doctor.
One thing it says you can do,
like a fireworks display.
If you hold a lighter up to it, apparently there's a chance you can melt it.
Like a rainbow kind of flame thing.
Yeah. So, but now be
That's
careful.
for the weekends. That's when we,
be careful.
We save up for that.
But yeah, this is a terrible thing that our balls are now being.
Well, that's why you get a Kinetico, baby. Get rid of that stuff, man.
Yeah.
Have the
but Kinetico is not going to make your food.
No.
It's not going to filter your air.
Well, I'm trying to find a silver lining.
There's
here,
no silver. There's a plastic lining.
My eggs are full of plastic.
I'm sorry to say.
They're wearing little plastic stormtrooper helmets.
Exactly. Let's go to South Korea, where Dr. Enrique Martinez. No, just kidding. No. There's no doctor.
Like to trade doctors.
There's no doctor in this story.
I'd like to offer Zheng Zhu for Martinez.
There's no
round one.
No doctor here. This is a story of a man who was filmed having sex with a Tesla for 3 hours.
Ridiculous.
But now the Tesla was pink, which may have been confusing for the fella.
It was heterosexual car love.
Yes.
Okay.
The man was spotted kissing, touching, and I don't know how comfortable I am saying this word. Yeah, fondling. It's like if you said I'm fondling something with my finger, it's the word you would use for that.
Where? What part of the vehicle is the G spot for the Tesla?
That's a good question.
The gas pedal?
I think it's got to be.
See, I would have trouble finding it.
It's the electric port.
Is it a bigger gas pedal?
It's the electric port.
Oh, it's the electric port.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see. Again, I have trouble finding those things.
The key is
you're gonna have to point me to it. It's dark.
You kind of tease it a little
to
bit.
The right.
You rub little
Am I
circles
there?
around it.
That's not it.
Yeah.
Left? No. Other side?
The key is
I'm on the wrong side. How did that happen?
What you need to do is you need to write the alphabet out.
It's on the back
with the plug. They say that's a good move.
I had no idea.
Ooh, you like that car?
Ooh.
You want that? You want that? You want me to put this in your port? Is that what you want?
So that's where you.
That's what he did.
That's the area, huh?
That's the area. The guy kissed this. This is a guy says this guy kissed my wife's car.
It wasn't his car.
No, it was his wife's.
He was
car.
having an affair.
No, this was a strange woman's car. Yeah. And he ran off when my wife approached to get in the car.
Don't touch the door handle, baby.
And Like they didn't catch
That's
the guy.
not motor oil.
The guy said, I think I'm going to have to remove the pink wrapping from this car. Like a color may have triggered this guy, like it was some sort of lingerie. The man was also seen wearing a medical face covering.
Safe sex.
But when he got down to get really up close to the vehicle, he removed it.
Well, he's going raw dog on his Tesla.
Right. Yeah. I'm not sure how he got away with this for 3 hours or how he didn't get bored after 3 hours. But
Holy Toledo.
It's like apparently
I am so disconcerted.
According to Korea's law around obscenity, there's a good chance that if this guy gets caught, he could face actual prison or a huge fine.
Is the car under 16?
Well, it's a Tesla. They haven't been around that long.
See, we got all kinds of trouble.
The age of consent for cars is unknown. But a person who publicly commits an obscene act, imprisonment for not more than 1 year, a fine not exceeding 5 million won, detention, or a minor fine. So it sounds like this feels obscene to me.
I'd let him go work in a car wash. I'd force him to go work in the car wash.
I mean, I'd put him in. I think he'd be a great used car salesman. Who's going to say better things about this car than this guy?
Oh, come over and sit here.
You
won't
sat
in this seat.
You won't believe what this vehicle can do. You're not going to believe it.
This car's had a fresh lube job.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nod, nod. You know what I mean? This is a real 4x4, if you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
You want a car that's going to make you feel like a man again?
Feel like a man.
This
breathe
is going to make you feel like a man.
Breathe deep. That's not an electrical port.
Well, if you breathe deep and you're not using a Tesla, you're going to die of gas intoxication.
Well, that's how you tell if it's a male or
but if it's a Tesla, you can breathe it in and you're okay. Yeah, there's a lot of weird people out there, Rob, is what I've noticed.
It's mostly Tesla drivers.
Seems to be.
I found over the years that if they're driving a Tesla, they're probably making love to him as well.
I don't think this guy's a Tesla driver.
Well, he's a rider.
Yeah. I think if he owned a Tesla, I think he'd
treat it better than that.
Or at least he'd be loyal to his own. He wouldn't be out Teslaing around.
Yeah, he'd be married, so it only happened once a month anyway. I mean, he'd be married. It'd have to be perfect weather, and everything would happen.
All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, I'm going to tell you about the best places in the country to live. There's a list out. The best places to live, Rob, in the country.
Well, it's here, right?
It's
here.
Well, we'll see where San Antonio lands on the list. We'll see what cities surprise you on the list. All that and more. And later on in the program, the top 25 players in the NBA under the age of 25. Is there a local on the list? We'll talk about that. It's 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You know, right now, as we sit, we are trying to figure out what we're going to cue this weekend. You know, when you head over to Tri-County Meat Market, you don't have to have a plan in place. And when I walk into Tri-County, normally I know I'm going to get a couple hors d'oeuvres, a couple toothpicks. You get the sausage, you know you're going to use that, but what's going to be the meal? Look at the specials, get your email, and if you walk into Tri-County and don't leave without putting yourself on the email list, you're missing out. Make sure you do that. I'm going to walk in this weekend. I think on a playoff Sunday afternoon, if you're sitting by the pool, I think burgers are due. And if you haven't had their house ground burger, got a little brisket in there, got a little bit of fat, it's the only burger you're going to buy that does not shrink. Made when you need it and ready to go. Go get yourself some burgers, get yourself a couple steaks, but go to Tri-County Meat Market. Everybody I know that goes for the first time is consistently amazed, not with the meat. We expect all that. It's the service and all the other stuff that you find when you're in Tri-County. Like, for example, the 5 for $25. They got produce, they got canned goods, they got everything you need. 5 items in a bag. I promise you, there are 2 meals in there, some 3, for just $25, and that's every time you walk into Tri-County. Specials every week, the very best you can find. You're looking for one of those gigantic brontosaurus kind of steaks with the bone on that got the tomahawks waiting on you. And if you've never had a porterhouse cut the way you like it from Tri-County, you just haven't begun. Head over either one of their locations, over on Heebner, out on Ralph Fair. Head over and get some good meat, put it on the grill, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
94.1 FM, San Antonio's Sports Star.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow by New Nordic. Millions of men and women around the world trust Hair Grow. With its patented tocotrienol complex, Hair Grow naturally reduces inflammation in the scalp and is clinically proven to promote new hair growth and increase hair count in as little as 4 months. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
A gain scent bead story. Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said, "Maraca, senor," but his nose said, "Hey, freshest scent ever." Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring a bottle of Gain scent beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, "Sir, your scent Maraca smell amazing." Actually, Jim, most noses call them Gain scent beads. Try Gain scent beads. Way fresher than detergent alone.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or apply. Stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftyWindows.com for full offer details.
Attention homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? Fog between the glass? Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace.
If you've put off replacing windows because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door.
Just text BUY to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year.
That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month.
Text BUY to 200-300 right now. Text the word BUY to 200-300. Don't wait. Text BUY to 200-300.
Get ready, San Antonio. Baseball Express and Team Express are hosting the event of the season. This Saturday, stop by 1003 East Nakoma for a chance to pop a balloon and get up to 100% off your purchase, up to $500. Only 250 balloons are available, so come early. Baseball Express and Team Express have gear for every sport, team uniforms, and top brand apparel. Clearance items up to 60% off. Use code CTE10 for an extra 10% off. Team Express, all sports, all the time. Visit teamexpress.com for more details.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This feels like the soundtrack to Tony Hawk, the video game. You're such a punk rocker, Vic. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. We've been talking about
I was just hanging out with my Tesla.
Plastic ass balls spray paint the vegetables, in the words of the great American poet Beck. I don't know if you remember that song.
I'm a loser, baby.
Yeah.
I could have said the rest. I just wanted that.
Rob went outside and hung out with his Tesla after that segment, which was weird.
I had to explain to her the plastic.
I'm not here to judge. Yeah.
Why we don't have little scooters running around. It's the plastic.
It's all the plastic in my balls.
I've been trying to have a little scooter and we can't. It's too much plastic.
It's a damn shame. You know what I did find? I didn't know this. I was downtown a couple days ago, and I didn't realize that San Antonio is a scooter town.
Oh yeah. No, we don't have as much as we used to. There was a crackdown because they told us there was like 2,000, and they did a census and found out there were like 10,000.
Oh man,
they weren't supposed to have that many.
So is it like LA where you wherever you're at, you get on it and then you drive it around and you leave it wherever you leave it and they'll pick it up?
There's a homing device, and there's guys I know that get paid to just drive around town, pick up the birds and the other ones and get them recharged and put them back in a central locale. Yeah,
man,
modern world.
I'm going to be riding around on those.
Yeah. Well,
although some of the streets in downtown San Antonio right now don't seem scooter safe.
Most of the scooters, the primary backer behind that are orthopedic surgeons. They really are pro scooter.
Oh, okay.
It's good for business.
Good for business, yeah.
Lots of knees and broken arms, and it's all funded by the Orthopedic Surgeon Coalition.
I made a mistake once. I was in LA. What was I there for? I think I was there for a fight, actually. I was there for a fight.
You personally, or you were watching?
I was there watching.
Okay.
I was there to watch a fight. And I was staying in downtown Los Angeles, and there's a brewery that I wanted to go to that was close to Dodger Stadium.
Okay.
And that's about a 2-mile drive. And I was like, you know what I'm going to do? The weather was beautiful. And I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ride one of these scooters. What I didn't realize is that the area you go through,
Chavez Ravine, is not the nicest place to get to.
It's not ideal. And there's a lot of homeless people who might want to take your scooter from you or
it's like Mad Max,
or might want to stab you and drink your blood. I don't know, but it was wild. Like you see on TV, like these, and I got news for you. Wherever you live, if you don't live in LA or New York, you live in any other city in this country, and you think you've got a homeless problem, I got news for you, pal. LA, it's
next level Mad Max.
It really is like a beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah.
And I think they do set up Thunderdome where there's like homeless fights.
2 men in or 1 man leave.
I used to talk about like in the Astrodome, it would be like if you went in the Astrodome today, I think there's like a whole underground homeless camp there.
A bunch of mole people living underneath there.
They're hobos who haven't seen the sun in years, and they have rats that are like maybe the size of black labs that they walk around.
ROUSs, rats of unusual size.
Yes, ridiculous. But even that wouldn't have anything on what I saw in LA. But I was riding one of those
on
scooters.
A slow scooter, losing battery power.
That's the thing. The way there wasn't that bad. It was downhill. The way back, by the way, after I've had like 5 beers in me, my scooter starts to run out of steam. And I'm like, oh man, I got to find a new scooter to trade out. The problem is the scooters, if a scooter dies in that area,
ain't nobody going to get it.
Nobody picks that thing up. Like you talk about, you got buddies who pick them up. They ain't going over there to pick them up. You think somebody's jumping out of the truck and grabbing that scooter? I don't think so, pal. That scooter's lost to the wind. And that's what happens. And I mean, my scooter, it didn't make it all the way back to my hotel. I had to, I was on my scooter, and I'm like I'm not one of these people who's like scared. Like I don't walk around the world being afraid of the world, but
there's a healthy respect for your environment that you have to have.
I'm not of these people. Like I don't belong here. And I don't think they want me around. And I respect that. Like there's some places in the world that I'm like, you'll never hear me talk about vacationing in Iran or there's a good reason why me and my wife don't talk about our bucket list trip to Egypt.
You're not an adventure traveler.
No.
You know where
I go? I go to places that are very, very first world. And I don't want to know about third world problems. I haven't seen a lot of second world, but I don't want to know about the problems of the third world. That's
I have a TV for that.
Yeah. If I want, I'll watch it and I'll go, oh, and my wife will go, should we send money? And like that's as much as I want to know about it. I don't want to be invited into anyone's tent. I don't want.
At the end of the day, my experience, AJ, is I don't want to have to remember a place by how it smelled.
Yeah.
And if I remember a place by the smell, it wasn't a good place.
I mean, I think that's a very
and I've been down
point.
the streets of LA that you're talking about, and the smell is the first thing that you remember. Like, my God. So
which leads us to this this
leads
story
us to here we are
of US News. They made a list of the top 150 best places to live in the United States.
When you asked that question, I tried to put where that might be, and I honestly have no idea.
So for this list, they said we selected 150 major cities to find the best places to live. To make the top of the list, a place had to have good value, be a desirable place to live, have a strong job market, and a high quality of life.
So when you say that, I get the sense it's going to be some Midwestern town that I had not thought about, or
there's
some kind of coastal city that I couldn't afford to live in, is my guess.
I'll go ahead and give you the top 10, and then we'll get into some of the others along this list. Number 1 is Naples, Florida.
See, I couldn't afford to live in Naples.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, isn't that where Mar-a-Lago is?
Yeah, that's a wealthy part of the world. I couldn't. Yeah, I bet it is nice.
Number 2, Boise, Idaho.
See, there you go. One of those cities you go,
I'm
never going to go there.
You could afford to live there.
Yeah, but why would I want to live in Boise, Idaho?
Tough place to afford. Colorado Springs, Colorado.
I've been there. It's not a bad place.
More affordable, though. Greenville, South Carolina, number 4. Number 5, Charlotte, North Carolina, which I've heard lovely things about. Number 6, Raleigh, North Carolina. So
what's going on in North
Old
Carolina?
Tobacco Road's got something going here. Number 7, been here. Not a place I would have listed, but I haven't been here in a long time. Huntsville, Alabama. Number 7 on the list.
You're going to have to convince me.
Here's why I'm going to eliminate it.
You're going to have to convince me.
Huntsville might be a beautiful town. It's in Alabama. That ain't changing.
Right.
I think I'm out on that. Number 8, Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Navy town.
Number 9, Austin, Texas.
See,
I think there was a time.
Yeah, again, yeah, I think there was. Anybody who's there now says no.
It said, and I lived in Austin for a good while. I loved Austin. I don't think I'd live in Austin today. Right. Here's what the notes are about Austin. With the slogan, "Keep Austin Weird," this Texas city is laid back to the point that if you're dressing up, it must be a life event. People here enjoy the outdoors, even more so with their dogs. Austin has a contagious vibrancy and enthusiasm.
That it does. Okay.
Right.
But have you tried to buy a house in downtown Austin lately?
Well, it says, what's the cost of living in Austin, Texas? And it says, Austin attracts transplants from other states in part because Texas doesn't have personal or corporate income tax.
Truth.
The national average for housing costs is $282,000. The average house in Austin, Texas is $488,000. So nearly double. But, for a metro area, anytime you live in a city, it's going to be more than the average national cost because the average cost of a house in Pecos, Texas is $100,000.
Yeah. I get the sense that this list was made by people that had been to Austin recently, but never really lived there.
That it's
You know what I
entirely
mean?
possible.
Because I everything they described, Austin, that's correct for a weekend.
Number 10 on the list is Boulder, Colorado, which is another beautiful part of our country. Some other places of note that are worth mentioning. I hear great things about this place. I don't like the state of Oklahoma. I'm not a fan of they're
a little too 110% on everything.
Oklahoma City, number 16. I hear it's a nice place.
They're about to play host to the tallest building in the United States. Have you read? They're going to build the tallest tower in the United States.
Why?
To stop the planes from flying over on the way to New York. They're going to have to.
Here's another one where I'm not sure people have lived there. And certainly the price point higher than Austin. Number 22 on the list is San Francisco.
No.
I wouldn't want to live in San Francisco.
No.
Like, it's a great place to
Northern
visit.
California is great. San Francisco is not.
Number 28, Seattle, Washington. I'm a big fan of
Where's
Seattle.
San Antonio and Dallas and Houston on this list?
We're getting there,
okay.
Rob. I mean, we're working.
We're going a long way down the list.
We're working our way down the list. A lot of people love Denver, Colorado. It's number 40 on the list.
Colorado, and only one's Texas. I think there's a problem already.
There's only one Texas city in the top 40. Number 41, as someone who's been to this town quite a bit, I can tell you Portland, Oregon is not the 41st place to live in the country. I can tell you that now. It used to be a really nice place to visit, and I'm not so sure about that anymore. Number 46, San Diego, California, which everyone tells you is the ideal place to live in this country.
It's too expensive.
Number 48 on the list, Texas City. What do you think? Not Texas City, Texas, but it is.
Okay.
It's
I'm about to burn the list and throw it out.
A city in Texas, but it's going to shock you. There's no chance. If I gave you 10 guesses, you wouldn't pick this place.
Bastrop,
McAllen, Texas.
Now, I've been told by a variety of political commercials that the border and McAllen are not a place to be.
It says, despite its reputation as a border town, McAllen, Texas is a vibrant city, a major center for retail, international trade, tourism, and manufacturing.
Cartel.
Good quality of life, an abundance of medical facilities, and a young bicultural community are draws for the people who call McAllen home.
You know, what they said is true. That is a true statement. The border is not what it's been portrayed in.
It's not. And I don't know that I'd want to live in McAllen, but I'm not McAllen averse.
No one wants to live in McAllen. What are you? This is a joke.
I don't mind going down there and eating.
On this list, they put McAllen over San Antonio.
Ridiculous. Have you lived any other major cities besides San?
The biggest city I've lived elsewhere. I've lived in D.C. for a minute. I lived in Orlando, Florida for 5 years.
And how do you rank San Antonio compared to those?
DC, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Okay.
Orlando is an entirely plastic city. You can make of it what you want. San Antonio has its issues, but at least it's got roots.
Okay. Number 50 is a town that I lived in, went to college in, Nashville, Tennessee.
Great city.
I think it's probably lower on this list than it should be. Albuquerque, New Mexico, number 57.
Underrated town.
I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
The next city that pops up in Texas, number 62, another border town, El Paso, Texas. I think El Paso a little underrated. It wouldn't be.
I know nothing of El Paso.
It wouldn't be the place I'd put third on this list for Texas cities, but number where are we at?
Still haven't gotten to San Antonio.
Number 68 is Orlando, Florida.
Yeah,
Number 69, the very nice Anchorage, Alaska. Still no San Antonio. Number 77, another Texas town. This list is invalidated.
Tyler?
Corpus Christi, Texas, number 77.
All right.
I assure you, my sister lives in Corpus Christi, and I think every day she thinks about killing herself.
I don't hate
she lives
Corpus.
in Corpus Christi.
I will say this, and I abide by this. I don't know anybody from Corpus. People from Corpus, they stay there. They don't leave.
Yeah. Number 84, another town that I lived in, Lafayette, Louisiana. Cute little town, great food. Number 87, Brownsville, Texas.
What is their fascination with the border?
I don't know. Number 89, San Antonio, Texas.
So McAllen Brownsville,
Corpus,
and
El Paso.
And El Paso came in ahead of San Antonio and Dallas and Houston.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's what it says about San Antonio. San Antonio is as comfortable as an old pair of jeans. It offers big city amenities and world-renowned attractions coupled with a relaxed and inviting atmosphere. Most famously known as the home of the Alamo, the spirit of the region expands beyond its tourist labels, offering a community rich in Spanish and Old West heritage.
I think that's an appropriate description.
But 89 on the list.
I get it. I think immediately when you're rating places and go, at any point during the year, are there going to be consecutive days over 100 degrees? And if you say yes, you're discounted like 15 spots, just down the list.
Probably so. But I mean, again, McAllen. Oh, I forgot to mention Washington, D.C. was 44 on the list. So ahead of that's the best place you've ever lived, according to this list.
The other part about the border towns is there's a boys town readily available.
That's true.
So that does help in the marketing of the town.
That is true. San Antonio, one spot behind Boston, who I've already made my my thoughts about Boston. Number 92, Las Vegas, where I moved here from. Number 95, Dallas, Texas.
Where would you put Vegas on the grand scheme? Because Henderson, Vegas are two different things, but that whole area, would you recommend living there to those people that are looking for?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a good place, man.
I've never had a problem with Vegas.
It's a good place.
What about the heat, like I was saying?
It's miserable, but if you're coming from Texas, you're used to it. 95 Dallas, 97 Houston, 99 Beaumont, Texas.
That's another place that you remember by the smell.
Boy, they're counting tax breaks quite a bit here. Number 107, Killeen, Texas. That's a tough one, friend. That's a tough sell for me.
107th best place to live in the country, Killeen, Texas.
All right, I got to give away. Oh, but number 124, New York City, and number 1, LA was 130. They must have run out of cities because number 146. And by the way, I'm going to give you number 140 is New Orleans, which is a place I love to visit. I don't know that I ever want to live there. Number 146 on the list, Flint, Michigan.
You can't even drink the water, and they made the list.
Think about that. New Haven, Connecticut, Hartford, Connecticut, Detroit, all listed below Flint, Michigan.
At least
I'd move out of those places.
Drink the water.
All right. Let's do this. For the ACL giveaway, ACL Fest Week 2 wristbands, San Antonio Sports Star has your 3-day wristbands for ACL Music Fest, October 11th through the 13th. One winner from each show is going to be chosen. We're going to give away some now. We're going to give away a spot now and one at 9:30. And if you don't win, you can always buy your wristbands at aclfest.com. So here's the question. It's for someone who was just listening to this show. All you had to do was listen to this show. Last segment. What color was the Tesla that the man in Korea was making love to?
I would be qualified.
First caller to let Vic know you are registered. I just unplugged my microphone. How about that? Simple as that. First one to call into Vic, and you are registered for those ACL tickets. We'll be back. Hour number 4 coming up, baby. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
Celebrate Memorial Day weekend at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Don't miss incredible deals like 50% bonus trade-in on all new clubs. Buy any 2 apparel items and receive a 3rd free. And save big on shoes, bags, carts, and travel covers. The more you buy, the more you save. Shop with us this Memorial Day weekend, in-store or online. Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ziprecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-5407. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 reviews on Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-5407. That's 800-575-5407. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. From high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone, including blackjack tournaments. From the owners of the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, the Big Blind is locally owned and operated, offering daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 and Redland Road.
You want another way to add excitement to watching the NBA playoffs? Jason Lennox here. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It is a fan favorite way to play fantasy sports, especially playing the pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your pick'em entry, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. Endless projections to choose from. It is fantasy and it is legal in Texas. So get started by going to the easy-to-use Underdog Fantasy mobile app or go to the website underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick'em entry and a deposit offer. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, sign up using my promo code STAR at underdogfantasy.com.
Score a trip for 4 to Orlando's most magical theme park, including airfare and hotel. Register now to win at SanAntonioSportsStar.com. San Antonio Sports Center.
The NBA playoffs continue. Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals went to the Dallas Mavericks as they took a 108-105 win over the Timberwolves. The Eastern Conference Finals head to Game 2 tonight as Jason Tatum and the Celtics look to take a 2-0 advantage over Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 4.
This was the best conversation about places to live, and I was discounting the border, but I'll tell you what, there's something to be said about being able to go across and live right next to the.
There is something, man.
There's something there. We got to pay attention.
There is
border
something.
types. We know we're reaching the beach all the way there.
I like to shame some of the big cities that didn't do well on this list. I mentioned Detroit being number 149 out of 150, and number 150 is kind of an American city, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
That's no.
And
it's not their fault.
It's not.
It's our fault, but no, that's not.
Yeah, I don't think you can count it. So I think Detroit, they're saying, is the worst major city to live in. In the
some of that's like Kawhi getting voted to second team. I think it's a lot of reputation. Detroit isn't as bad as it used to be. It's not.
I haven't spent any time in Cleveland. It's number 141 on the list. Again, I think New Orleans at 140 is a little bit low. I'm a sucker for a city with culture.
Right, a vibe.
Which was part of the appeal for me coming to this town is there's a vibe. There's a real vibe to San Antonio. Like there's a culture to it, and I appreciate that. New Orleans, maybe more than any city in the country, has a very unique culture and vibe.
But if I was grading places to live, the possibility of being wiped off the map by the next storm probably plays really high.
That is something I'm against. And that was probably my favorite thing about moving to Vegas was there's no natural disasters there. You know, my homeowner's insurance was like $25 a month or something like that. I mean, you'd pay nothing for homeowners because no bad stuff happens.
You're right. No, now in Texas, we now have to start worrying about wildfires.
Yeah. There no fires because there's no trees to burn. You're not even allowed to have grass there. There's not going to be a flood. I can tell you that.
And if it did, it wouldn't last long.
There's no earthquakes. There's no tornadoes. There's no hurricanes. None of that stuff is hitting you there. I mean, the worst thing that happens is there's like a dust storm.
Where was Phoenix on this list? Speaking of heat and hot, because San Antonio, for the longest time, we compared ourselves to two other cities. It was San Antonio, Phoenix, and San Diego. We were all part of the West and the growing part of the world, and we all kind of had the same population, more military in San Diego, a little bit more of the aged population in Phoenix to kind of match San Antonio, and it felt like they lapped us a long time ago.
67 on the list is Phoenix.
And Phoenix feels very much like any other town. There's no vibe in Phoenix. It's so spread out. It feels like a giant college town.
And that's the thing. Like there's Phoenix, there's Scottsdale, and then even into like Tucson. It's all kind of one
stretch of
land. Yeah, and there's not much to it. It's not one of my favorite spots. But yeah, it's not considered one of the worst either. So I think there's something to be said for that. I mentioned that New York and LA pretty low on the list. Philadelphia was low on the list, 130.
I like Philadelphia, but I understand its problems. I think that talk about cities with vibes, but they're problems.
You know, the city on this list that I disagree with the most, and I interviewed for a job in this city, and I was like, man, I really want this job. Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I know nothing of Milwaukee.
It is such a cool little. I mean, I went up there. My wife and I spent like a week in Chicago, and we went up there for a day trip. And Chicago feels like a big city.
Yeah,
Milwaukee feels like a town to raise a family in. Now, to be fair, I was there in April or May. It was awesome. I don't think I'd want to live there in the wintertime.
When nature, I mean, we laugh about the heat, but you adjust to the heat. You can never adjust to that cold. I mean, the cold will literally kill you.
I think probably if I had to choose a place to retire, like if I said, okay, you've got to make your decision now. Where you do want to live in your older years? Where do you want to live? And I would pick my wife's hometown, which is Bend, Oregon. I think it's an amazing place. There's rivers, there's mountains. It's beautiful. There's more breweries per capita than any city in the country. It's like it's this place that God created just for me. But I like to go there in the summertime. And in the summertime, the high is like, I don't know, 85, and then at night it gets down to where you got to put on a hoodie. In the wintertime, it's a ski resort town. I want nothing to do with that. I don't want to be in the cold. I don't like cold.
I don't like it, though I crave it. You know, I want to see it. I don't want to live in it. And when people ask, like, where would you want to live or where would you want a vacation? Depending on the time of the year, most times I'm not going to name a hot city. I get enough heat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to name some place like a Seattle or a Portland or maybe a little bit more temperate region, just, up into Colorado. But I don't name that unless it's the middle of January. Then I'm talking about, I'd love to live in Phoenix.
And Matthew's right. Bend also home of the last remaining Blockbuster
in the world. Move there already.
Also,
I still have my card.
I got to tell you this. I don't use the devil's lettuce because that's illegal here. But having been in Vegas and paying Vegas prices for weed, like it's not cheap. It's really good from what I hear. It's not cheap. You can go
big corporate weed.
You can go into a dispensary in Oregon and it's like there's a fishbowl of $2 pre-rolled joints, and it's knock your pants off kind of joints.
Well, I have experience with some friends that own dispensaries, and Oregon doesn't have to track their plants the way other places.
No,
do.
Even though they were like one of the first to market, it's very much the Wild West.
Right.
Like they're not as regulated as some of these other places, and it is. Yeah, you probably don't know exactly what you're getting, but
did we ever?
When did you? When you were a kid and you ordered, a dime bag, were you like, hey, what's the strain? No, you just
strain.
Yeah, well,
strain. I don't know. Coyote.
Greenish, greenish with some stems, maybe some seeds at the bottom.
Oh no, see, I'm old school. Not just a few seeds at the bottom.
A lot.
That's all you got.
Did you ever try to plant them?
Well, you did.
Yeah, it never worked.
No,
but
yeah, that would have been illegal. I wouldn't have done anything. That would have just been for science.
All right,
for humanity.
Let's revisit quickly the Harrison Butker story because there's been another turn on it. Patrick Mahomes has weighed in, and he had. I think his wife gave him a statement and said, honey, they're going to ask you about Harrison, and I need you to tell him this. And Harrison, yeah, well, he's like my teammate and stuff, but I think he's kind of a weird dude.
I don't even know the guy.
Here's what Patrick Mahomes had to say about Harrison Butker.
I judge him by the character that he shows every single day, and that's a good person. That's someone who cares about the people around him, cares about his family, and wants to make a good impact in society. When you're in the locker room, there's a lot of people from a lot of different areas of life, and they have a lot of different views on everything, and we're not always going to agree.
So, like, yeah, my wife said I can't hang out with him anymore. No more hanging out with him. Something tells me that Harrison Butker's wife doesn't get invited to the parties with Brittany Mahomes and Taylor Swift.
Can you imagine? He went home, and we know what Mahomes' wife is like. Can you imagine when Pat walked in and his wife was like, well, we're going to have to talk. Is that what goes on in the locker room?
I don't believe any of that stuff, honey. Like, I don't know. I don't even know that guy.
Every now and then.
I don't even think he's on the team anymore, to be honest.
One of your boys says something in passing, and your wife or somebody picks up on it, and they go, is that what goes on when I'm not here?
I don't know anything about that.
When I'm not around, are you saying things like, no, baby, no, not at all. Now, I want to say something.
Did you say the B word? I'd never say that word. That's crazy.
I do want to remind people, and it's easy to make fun of Butker, and, whatever his beliefs are, that's his life. Go live it. But he was just talking to a graduation class of a bunch of women who believed exactly what he said. I mean, he was invited to that school to do that.
There were women posting on TikTok and Instagram after, like, I cannot believe
college.
Yes.
Well, they didn't get educated the right way, because if he'd have been at Liberty, they'd have stood up and applauded.
That's true. Do they even let women into Liberty?
Well, you have to have ankle-length skirts and pledge your allegiance to a variety of things behind the scenes. But yes,
my brother-in-law went to he ended up getting out of it, but like when he first went to college, he got sent to this place in Florida. I say got sent like it was a prison sentence. He went to this Christian college in Florida that was all dudes, and it was like you had to keep your hands in your pockets at all times. Like if you were talking to a woman for anything, you were never allowed to be in a room alone with a woman. They had to walk, like if a woman was walking on the sidewalk, you had to get into the grass. Like it was like a crazy thing. And they're like, I'm out of here.
It sounds like they were trying to get away from another lifestyle.
You're probably right.
Maybe you guys need to start looking at the women.
You're probably right. All right, let's hit a break. And boy, we've had some fun. Oh, we got to get to this 25 under 25 list for the NBA. The top 25 players in the NBA under the age of 25. The new list came out. There's some familiar names near the top. Where does Wemby rank? That's the big question. It's the Morning Huddle here on 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
Did you wake up this morning, step into a Connecticut shower ready to attack the day? I hope you did. Because a Connecticut is one of those things that if you have it in your house, it just takes away one more thing. A Connecticut is the end product of something that's going to take care of the pipes that, part of the most important investment you're ever going to have, your house. And while the water matters, it certainly you don't want the stuff that's coming through the limestone on your plates and on your hair and in your dishes and your dog bowl and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about the investment in your home. And when we're talking about the sediment that can build up in your pipes over years, the fix is just ridiculous. So you can head that off at the pass right now with the very best, a Connecticut water treatment system designed in the United States. It's the most efficient system you can buy anywhere. And guess what? You don't even plug it in. It works off kinetic energy, no motherboard to go out, no power to suck dry. And really, it doesn't use any salt any more than anything else because it only works when you turn on the faucet. Now, Connecticut customers are all around San Antonio, and we very quietly go about our business knowing we have the very best, and water softener is something we're never going to have to worry about because Connecticut says it. I absolutely believe it. It's the last water softener you're ever going to own. Find out for yourself. Write this number down, 656-PURE. If you'll call that today, Connecticut will come out and put a water softener, what I'm talking about, in your home for 90 days without asking you for a penny. They're going to prove to you what they've proven to me and all of my neighbors, that Connecticut is the water treatment system to have in South Central Texas. And if you don't, you need to get one. Call 656-PURE today, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, it is a big day. We're going to be live out at the Roo Pub. Always a lot of fun.
Get you ready for tonight's NBA game, and the Dallas Stars get their conference final series underway. React to what we saw last night. Plus, we'll talk with John McClain at 5:15. The Blitz live out at the Roo Pub. We get going at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Were you uninvited to game night? Do you play board games with the ferocious intensity of an iron-fisted oligarch? Have friends left game night asking, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Get to Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale and save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets, plus get a $300 instant gift, all with free and fast delivery. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started Wesley Financial Group to do one thing, help people get out of their timeshare nightmare. When you buy a timeshare, the timeshare company can raise your annual maintenance fees at will. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Want out of your timeshare? Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? Fog between the glass? Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace.
If you've put off replacing windows because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door.
Just text BUY to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year.
That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month.
Text BUY to 200-300 right now. Text the word BUY to 200-300. Don't wait. Text BUY to 200-300.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime.
Morning Huddle. There we go, baby. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star, and the list is out. The Ringer did a list. The best of the NBA's next generation. Who is the best of the best?
Is 25 young in the NBA?
Yeah.
In the NBA, that's young.
I think it is, yeah.
I mean, a lot of these guys are 5 and 6 year pros by the time they're 25. They're on their third contract.
I may be saying it wrong. If you're older than 25, you're not young.
Right.
I know that much. Like that's why anybody who plays 4 years of college ball, like come draft day, they're like,
old. Sorry.
Yeah, we don't have much. We don't have much time left with this guy. But yeah, so I don't know if 25 is young, but I know if you're older than 25, you're damn sure not young. So I think that's why they make that the cutoff list or cutoff number for these lists. I guess we'll just start from the.
Some of these guys I thought were older. I'll be real honest.
I did too.
They've been around longer than 5 or 6 years.
Number 25 plays here in Texas, Jabari Smith.
I would say he is rightfully on this list, but his growth was stunted. He lost a year. I don't know how it happened, but it felt like the Jalen Green influence and the coaching and all the things that went on his rookie year, it got stunted. I think he's worthy.
It just feels like his role is being made less. Mm-hmm. And normally when a guy is drafted at age 20, your role becomes greater as you go.
I agree. And maybe it was the sanguine being better than they expected and maybe had a role in it. But I do think that he will be one of the 25 if he's not already.
Number 24 is Darius Garland, who we talked about yesterday as a guy who could get traded. And I would love to see here in San Antonio. Number 23, Desmond Bane, who barely hangs on for the list at 25 years old. Number 22, the aforementioned Jalen Green. I don't know what to think of Jalen Green. Like, he's got all the tools are there, and you see why they liked him. But
I love it. I think Jalen Green's going to be a.
Do you
we love Darius Garland, Jalen Green in 2 years?
Maybe so.
I think so.
I thought he stunk at the beginning of this year, and then he figured something out.
He is an athletic freak,
no doubt.
And that's enough.
Although there's some things about him that
no, there's off court
but who's to judge? Number 21, Jalen Johnson. Number 20 is LaMelo Ball.
We talked about arrows up.
I forget he's only 22 though.
I know, but he feels like a 30-year-old vet, doesn't he?
Yeah.
His body acts like a 30-year-old vet too.
It's I'm not sure. Like he's got some physical issues that worry me. I see some things where I'm like, wow, this guy can play.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also like a mid-range guy, which is a dying breed. I don't know what to think of him, honestly. 19 is Jaren Jackson, who, I mean, listen, you don't have to do anything if you play defense the way he does. As long as you can do that, you got a job. Number 18, a guy who we're waiting for him to hit the ceiling, Franz Wagner.
That guy hasn't gotten enough publicity.
20 points per game.
Second best player on that team.
I think so. Well, I don't know.
Well, maybe Suggs.
Jalen Suggs. Yeah, I don't know. But I like him. He's a big person who can play a small game, which is that's what everybody in the NBA is looking at. That's why Wemby's so desirable, because he can play a small game.
And he's the best Wagner of all of them. Of all the Wagners, he's by far the best.
Well, what about the composer?
Well, there is Franz, but he's been dead for 100 years.
Yeah. Number 17, Brandon Miller.
I'm in.
With no charges. Yeah. He's a lot better now. I like him a lot better now. There's a tie for 15, Evan Mobley.
Yeah.
Who, boy, he's only 22.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting better on offense, and he's going to be in the conversation for defensive player of the year, most years.
And think about it. He's playing next to a guy that is also in the conversation, and Jared Allen. That's a front line that's pretty damn formidable.
Which is why I keep talking about, bringing in another big and Donovan Clingan to play with Wemby. That's fascinating to me. He's tied with Trae Young at 15. Man, Trae Young feels like more than 25. That's wild.
That's the hairline, though.
It could be that. Number 14, Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
I see the flashes, but man, they've just not been able to put anything around him. If the goal for San Antonio is to be the Thunder, the other end of that spectrum is Detroit, where you keep having high picks and you can't find anyone to put with your superstar. Number 13, Scotty Barnes.
Absolutely.
I think that's legit. Number 12, Alperen Şengün.
Might be the biggest surprise of this list. We all thought he'd be okay.
He did not win most improved player. I'm surprised at that. Who did win that most improved?
This year was it Tyrese?
It might have been.
I think it's Tyrese.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, I guess. But boy, it feels like where Şengün came from was a lot further depths than where Tyrese Maxey was.
And it's the style of game that he's old school big. I mean, he's not the 3-and-D block a shot, stand out and hit a couple of threes to win a game for you. He thrives in the paint. And remember what he did to Wemby. He destroyed Wemby in the third game they went at.
There's some Jokic to his game. When you Jokic obviously has more of a shot outside, but some of their post play is very similar.
Spurs could have drafted him. Let him go. Let him buy.
Yep. A tie for 10th, Ja Morant, who that feels kind of low to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 years ago, wouldn't he have been 3?
And this guy, to me, is the biggest controversial. And I think, Morant's right in there, but Zion Williamson tied for 10th. I'm gonna say something that people might not believe, especially here. That's fine. Zion Williamson, if he's healthy, might be number 1 on this list. The problem is he's never going to be healthy. Zion is, if you go to a points per minute on the floor, I think he's number 1 in history. I think he's the most efficient scorer in the history of the NBA on a per minute basis, he just doesn't play enough.
He hurts my heart, man. No player in any sport that I can think of over the entirety of my life has been more of a letdown than Zion.
And every time it feels like, oh, here it comes.
Yep.
He's about to break out and he's going to be a superstar. It's gone. And it's not in the way that Greg Oden was, where it's like Greg Oden never got good because he couldn't stay healthy. Zion, we've seen the flashes that it's like, oh my God, if this guy could be out there every game, what an incredible force.
Yeah.
I just don't think he ever will be. I think he's going to be like Yao. It's going to be a guy who we're always going to say, what would have happened if? And I mean, it's unfortunate, but I think that's what it is.
The two great ifs of my basketball life will be what would Lynn Bias have been and what Zion could have been.
Yeah. Number 9, Paolo Banchero. I got a
beast mode, man.
That's almost feels low. And you know what? When I see number 8, Jalen Williams, I like Jalen Williams.
It's too high for it. He's living because he's so comfortable. He's got so many things around him. He doesn't have to be that good.
Yeah. Which as we go down this list, you're going to go, man, OKC, they've got some things working for him, because number 7 on the list, Chet Holmgren, which
everybody's talking about Wemby. Be very afraid of Chet. Did you see what he did over the last 2 or 3 weeks?
And it's good. It says bold prediction, and I agree with this. Chet will spend the bulk of his career in the top 1% of NBA defenders, but won't win a single defensive player of the year because of the alien who plays in San Antonio. And you can make a really good argument that is going to be the case.
Oh,
and it might be the case for Mobley as well. Like, these guys are elite, world-class defenders, and they may never see the light of day.
Jaren Jackson, Depoy, already rendered average.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not even going to be in the conversation anymore.
Number 6, Tyrese Maxey. Number 5, Tyrese Halliburton. The Tyrese's, that seems fair. Maxey, maybe we're looking at a little bit of recency bias with that one.
No, I think he is so good that they wouldn't be too concerned if they lost everybody else, including Joel. I think that they're that comfortable with him.
Number 4, Luka.
Too low.
He is 25 years old. He is one of the best players offensively. I mean, he is the best scorer in the NBA today.
Yeah.
I'm
surprised he's not one.
He won the scoring title by a good sight. Yeah. In the bold prediction here, in the next 2 years, Luka will be the only player in NBA history to record a 50, 60, 70, and 80-point game. So I could see that happening. Number 3, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
The unanimous All-NBA first-teamer.
25 years old. Just played his 6th NBA season. He doesn't feel like a young guy, but technically he still is. Number 2, Anthony Edwards.
Okay, okay.
And I think you can guess who number 1 is. It is the 20-year-old Victor Wembanyama. So I'll ask you this: does that feel right to you, especially given
if we're projecting? Absolutely.
But
currently, no.
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm looking at this top 5. Tyrese Halliburton, currently in the playoffs. Luka Doncic, currently in the playoffs. SGA, 1 seed in the Western Conference. Anthony Edwards, currently in the playoffs. Victor Wembanyama, 122 games.
But the good news is he gets to be on this list for the next 5 years. So, we'll come back and talk to us in a few.
Yeah. Here's what I do think makes him makes him elite, is that I think teammates are going to love playing with him in a different way that they love playing. Like, I think teammates love playing with Anthony Edwards because they love having a dude who's got that fire and feels like, oh, I want to be on his team because his team's going to win. Like, I could see that appeal, but I think with Wemby, it's like having a guy who's as skilled as him, but also comes across as humble. And it seems like, like the team enjoys playing with him. I think there's something about that's very valuable, and you can't put a price on.
It is literally the best thing about LeBron James. The best thing about LeBron is he is a selfless basketball player.
He makes his teammates better.
He would rather you hit a shot more times than him. And I see that in Wemby, that he'd rather you be successful than he be successful because he knows he can do it.
My only worries about him remain if his body is going to go the Zion route and fail him, because guys who are the size that he is, generally something crazy goes wrong with them. I hope that's not the case, but the best player under 25, according to this list, the bold prediction says, I'm not sure any prediction for Wemby will sound bold given the potential we've already seen, but here goes. He's winning at least 3 MVPs, 3 Defensive Player of the Years, and 3 championships. One can hope.
As a Spurs fan, I just got the chills. The hair on the back of my neck stuck up because there's no reason why that shouldn't happen. I mean, everybody who sees it, the only way it doesn't happen is if, in fact, he gets hurt, or in some way or fashion, the Spurs screw this thing up.
Yep. And I think the Spurs are a good enough organization that they won't do that. But I think it's the injury thing. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, we'll register the last person to win for the ACL tickets. And we will go through what's going on in Vegas. It is the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1.
Hi, everybody. Scott Innes here. For 25 years, I've been voicing lovable cartoon dogs like Scooby-Doo, Astro. Hey, I love puppies and dogs. And now I get to help pets that need a voice to save their lives. That's where the Puppy Food Bank comes in. The Puppy Food Bank helps pet rescue organizations so they can feed puppies. For just $11 a month, you can save a pet's life. Go to puppyfoodbank.org now and donate, and they'll send you a nice gift. Puppy Food Bank is proudly supported by Thomas J. Henry.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. To have payment plans, call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. If you stop running because your feet always hurt, that's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem. And it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
You want another way to add excitement to watching the NBA playoffs? Jason Minix here. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It is a fan favorite way to play fantasy sports, especially playing the pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your pick'em entry, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. Endless projections to choose from. It is fantasy and it is legal in Texas. So get started by going to the easy-to-use Underdog Fantasy mobile app or go to the website underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick'em entry and a deposit offer. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, sign up using my promo code STAR at underdogfantasy.com.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for my favorite game app. It is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Heck, I'm just one of 3 million active users. They're the easiest to play. They're the most exciting way to play your daily fantasy sports. And it's unlike other apps. On Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're a fantasy player. You know when it's more. You know when it's less. Up to 100 times your money according to how you play it. $1,000 on basketball, hockey, and college basketball entries. Today is the time to play. You can turn $10 into big money quick. The biggest moments in professional basketball are happening right now, and it's no fun unless you're playing. Go to Prize Picks right now and remember the code Alamo for your first deposit match of up to $100. That's the code Alamo. Prize Picks. Fantasy, you're playing already. Go win. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code Alamo, and up to $100 deposit match is coming. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
Get ready, San Antonio. Baseball Express and Team Express are hosting the event of the season. This Saturday, stop by 1003 East Nakoma for a chance to pop a balloon and get up to 100% off your purchase, up to $500. Only 250 balloons are available, so come early. Baseball Express and Team Express have gear for every sport, team uniforms, and top brand apparel. Clearance items up to 60% off. Use code CTE10 for an extra 10% off. Team Express, all sports, all the time. Visit teamexpress.com for more details.
Hey, this is Greeny. Join me today at 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let's get wild.
Let's get wild. All right, let's do a giveaway for the Brigade Board people, Brigade Bar people. Here's what I want to know for this will, you know what? We'll reward them again. If you were just listening, you'll know the answer to this question. First person to post it here on the Brigade Bar. If you're watching on YouTube, give you guys a chance to win these ACL tickets. Let me do my little read here.
Yes.
ACL Fest, week 2, 3-day wristbands. San Antonio wristbands to ACL Music Fest. October 11th through the 13th. Listen to the Morning Huddle, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. And you can only do that for one more day after today. And then listen to the Blitz, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, or 5:30. You'll get qualified to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to week 2. One winner from each show will be chosen at random at the end of the week. That means tomorrow we'll choose a winner. And that person will win a pair of 3-day weekend 2 wristbands. How about that? And if you don't win, you can always buy your wristbands at aclfest.com.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Blitz gives away an opportunity for a wristband live tonight. They're going to be out at the Roo Pub, so I bet they do something live for those that are there.
Ooh,
I would. If it was
that's
me,
what I would do too.
If it was the Morning Huddle, we'd be taking care of our listeners.
They don't ever put our show out in public because of Rob's club foot.
Yeah,
they think they're like, oh, big deal. Rob doesn't have toes on one foot. Like that stopped. But he doesn't like to wear a shoe on
capable. Is what I am.
He doesn't like to wear a shoe on it.
It's a big foot.
And there's a lot of places that won't let you in without a shoe. And Rob says, I'm not going to wear some uncomfortable ass shoe because Rob's shoe just falls off because there's no toes to hold it on.
It's a club foot.
It's like a human peg. It's really weird, kind of gross.
Yeah, well, we all work with what we're given.
And it's crazy because he massages it during the breaks. It like rubs oil into it. Very strange.
It's throbbing right now.
Here's that. Well, you did that to
throbbing.
It. You got it all worked up. You're gonna rub it on your Tesla when you get out of here.
To throb near me ever.
I just went through earlier in this show. I went through the best places to live in the country. The best places.
China Grove, Texas.
Now, I don't agree with all these things, but the city that it said was the best city to live in the state of Texas was Austin. The first person on the Brigade Bar to say the second best city to live in Texas on that list, you are registered to go to Austin, which was the highest ranked Texas city. All you got to do is know the second city that we said. And there we go. We got one.
That was easy. You're from there.
Bobby Castaneda. Boy, Bobby beat Tony by about half a tick. That was like bang, bang. They call that a bang, bang play.
We appreciate you, Pete, but no, San Antonio was way down the list.
Look at that. See, now I know you guys are paying attention. And here's what I like about the Brigade Bar. couple weeks ago, we start talking about the cool places to live. We start talking about plastic in the balls. We start talking about Tesla sex, and they would be like, what the hell is this crap? Now they're laughing. They're having fun.
They're trying to figure out how to raw dog a Tesla is what
That's
they're
what
trying
they're
to figure
figuring out. And you actually gave some good advice.
For those that have done it, it's our job to help the younger ones along,
help the younger,
because
the
you
next
don't want to make
generation.
the mistakes I made. That'll leave a mark.
Help Rob was trying to. He actually rolled up the window on himself.
Yeah, there's some buttons you don't want to push at certain times.
That'll leave a scar.
It'll make her jump, if you know what I mean. It doesn't work out.
And he once fell through the sunroof. That's like
I didn't fall through. I was pulled through.
That was
a whole other thing.
Rob in the sunroof was hot dog down a hallway. Is all I can say.
My safe word was turbo, and she didn't know what that meant.
It just took off.
Just grabbed it and went.
Terrible
electrifying
thing.
Experience.
All right, let's as soon as Edwin's ready to push the button, we'll go out to the desert and take a look at the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Eastern Conference Game 2 tonight. Pacers Celtics after the Game 1 hot break for the Pacers. Can they recover? They will try to do it as 9-point underdogs in Boston. The total in this one, 224.5. Rob, I put you on the spot.
Oh, man, run with those Celtics. They're going to win by 15. They're going to run away with it. But Pacers are planning for home court.
I'm going against you, man.
You like the Pacers here?
I'm backing the Pacers.
Do you like them to win, or you just like them to cover?
God, no. I like them plus 9 points. I just don't. And it's not that I like the Pacers. I just don't trust Boston to show up and play their A game every game. I just can't do it. So,
okay. What would you like in the first half? If we were really getting into this,
I would like the Celtics in the first half. And there's probably a bet you can make where it's like the exacta, where you say Celtics cover the first half number, Pacers cover the full game. That'd probably pay pretty well. But yeah, I think the Pacers make a comeback in the second half and make this a game. And I think the Celtics probably win by 5 or 6. I think it's a close game late, and the Celtics hit a few free throws and pull away at the end.
The final was 138, yada, yada, but there's overtime in there. What was the final at 224 and a half? In the second game, you've scouted. I like the under there.
You like the under?
I do. I think the second game, a little bit better scouting going on. You might, you'll find where they're trying to get the guys open.
Count me out.
No, no defense to be had no matter what.
I can't. Yeah, I just don't believe they're going to play defense. So I've got.
All right, I won't do that. But I do like the Celtics. I'm running with the Celtics to cover.
So let's see. There was 27 points scored in overtime, which means there were 234 points scored in regulation in that first game.
We're at 224.5 today. No, then I wouldn't touch
just
that. Celtics, I wouldn't.
The Celtics have games where the Celtics scored 155 points against the Pacers in a game this year. In one game.
I think they're going to uncork it tonight. I don't think we'll see. I think tonight will be the hangover from the Pacers realizing, man, we had our shot. It's not going to happen tonight because we didn't plan on it. We'll go back home and it'll be 2-1.
Yeah, you know what? They might. I'm going to stick with it. I think the Pacers make this thing interesting late and lose. And
I'm going to put 20 on it right this second, and we will see how we do.
Okay, it's a big balls play.
That's what I am.
Let's
big
see
balls.
Big balls,
full of plastic.
Big plastic balls, Rob. They call them. That's what they called them in high school.
I'm not proud of it.
They still call them that now.
But those things are going to be around long after I'm gone.
That's right.
Put them on a necklace and wear them.
Your wife is going to recycle your scrotum.
She keeps them in a bottle purse right now.
That's a knockoff purse because you could tell because it's
no
the plastic would mess up the leather one. She's not going to put that in a real Louis. She bought one in Manhattan and just keeps them in that.
Yeah, down on the Rush will do it.
All right, let's take a look at the hockey where Edmonton takes on Dallas tonight. The Dallas Stars minus 128 favorites. We didn't even mention the score. The Florida Panthers took a 1-0 lead in the Eastern Conference Series, 3-0 win. I got to feel. So here's what I believe about hockey. A team from New York isn't going to win, and a team from Canada isn't going to win. So we're going to have a Dallas, Florida championship, and it's going to be interesting. But I think Dallas handles business here. I think that the goaltending for Dallas, and I think I say this about Dallas, if they get a lead, you might as well cancel Christmas because they are not giving it up. And they will find a way to take out McDavid. They will keep him away from the puck. It's all about if they can score first. If they do, I think they win this game. So I'll give me Dallas.
I'm a neophyte. I've trusted you on most of my hockey lines, but I do know what I saw last night from Florida. That's the best team playing. I don't know how I'm going to bet them from here on out, but they're by far on both sides of the puck, or whatever you call it. Offensively, they're diligent. Defensively, they scrap for every inch of whatever. So I liked them last night. I'm going to stay on that bandwagon.
In Major League Baseball, Astros off today. Andrew Haney takes the mound for the Rangers at Philly. Philly minus 193.
Hottest team in baseball.
Boy, Dane Dunning, welcome back from the IL. How about we put up an 11 spot on you yesterday? Damn, son. The other game of interest, at least to me, is a morning game, a pre-noon game, where Paul Skeens takes the mound for the Pirates against San Francisco. The Pirates minus 175.
We're Skeens fans, right? We like young guys.
I like young guys who throw hard. Mm-hmm. I talked about Mason Miller for Oakland, and I was reading an article about if Oakland is smart, and I tend to agree with this. If Oakland's plan long-term is to turn Mason Miller into a frontline starter, you keep him and you go this year, you finish him out this season as a closer, and you stretch him out next year and you try to make him a starter again. Mm-hmm. I like that idea. If your plan for him is just for him to be a closer, you have to trade him and get a pile of stuff in return for him, because the A's aren't a good enough franchise to need like a valuable closer. Who cares if you got a closer if you're not going to use him but twice a month?
That's such a baseball move, though, to say I don't need him now, and I probably will never need a closer. So let me trade one that I could probably use for the next 5 years. I just don't happen to need him right now.
Yeah,
that's such a base.
But it's not like the NBA where he's going to be on the floor every game.
True. And it's a lot of money to spend for whatever.
It's a situational guy.
But I promise you, in the next 3 years, if in fact they can turn things around, they'll go, man, the only thing we don't have is a closer.
Well, chances are good the kind of haul you can get back for him could make you a competitive team again. And I mean, he's that kind of an arm, it looks like. And there's teams like the Yankees who could, they might even make him an eighth inning guy the way Clay Holmes has pitched. But there's a lot of teams, a lot of contending teams need bullpen. The Astros need bullpen help, so there's a lot of teams that would give up a lot to get a guy like that. But if you think you can make him a starter, I get it, because a starter has so much value. But if you think, we can't keep this guy healthy enough to let him be a full-time starter, I say let him be someone else's problem and get a pile of stuff back for him. This Paul Skeens, though, the idea that this guy was pitching in the College World Series less than a year ago and is now just mowing dudes down is
that he's a LSU type. Just anyway,
he's pitched 10 innings and has struck out 18 batters. That's pretty good. Gave up 4 runs in his first outing, or 3 runs in 4 innings. Got hit a little bit there. Next time out, he was like, "You're not touching me," and he is just living in triple digits on the radar. Which is, it's one thing for Mason Miller to be doing 103 when you got to throw 20 pitches, but when you're throwing 80 pitches and none of them drop below 100, that's something.
That's plastic ball stuff right there.
That is plastic ball stuff. It's funny because my kid, sometimes when they're doing scrimmages or whatever, they'll throw out a ball to me like, "This is a plastic ball." They'll throw it back. I'm not throwing that ball. Everybody knows plastic balls are bad.
Throws me off.
Everybody knows plastic balls are bad, but here we are. I guarantee there's 4 dudes sitting in this little studio. Guarantee all of us have microplastics in our sacks. Every one of us.
Some of us do it on purpose.
Yeah, Edwin injects them.
It's a protective device.
Edwin,
like a candy coating shell.
Edwin has a GI Joe in there. I don't know. He's like, I'm not even using microplastics. I got a full GI Joe. He's got holding this little rifle, like a. It's like on Jackass when they put that guy in the X-ray machine. There's the race car, and
Like,
the doctor's
there?
like, this looks like a toy car, and he's like, what?
I don't know how that got there.
I don't know. I don't know where that
shot,
came
Doc.
from. Edwin's like, the doctor's like, sir, how did this G.I. Joe figure get into your testy satchel?
Formulated over years of it.
Edwin's like, I don't know. I didn't know there was a G.I. Joe there. I didn't know.
He's there protecting.
Edwin tried to use the Kung Fu grip, and he got a little too close to the sun, is what happened.
Just a little too close to the sun.
He was like, oh, Kung Fu grip. That sounds awesome until it now resides inside you. Not ideal.
Chicks dig the long ball. Chicks dig the sack.
And the plastic ball. Chicks dig the plastic balls. Well, Rob, my friend.
We almost done?
That's episode 14.
14 in the books. One more. A big Friday edition coming in your direction tomorrow.
Oh,
and then a 3-day weekend awaits many Americans.
Yes. Well, it certainly awaits us. We're going to take Monday off to honor those who have given it all for this country, because you know what? We respect the military around here. There's some people who don't.
I would wager
we
to say,
do.
Between the two of us, we've served more years in the military than most radio duos across this great country.
Have to have.
I mean, we can both provide you a DD-214.
That's right.
We can, in fact, find you a uniform we can no longer fit in.
I can fit in mine.
Can you? Dude, I couldn't.
I can fit in mine. Well, maybe not. You know what I did find the other day? I found my my black beret.
Sweet. You guys got a beret.
I put it on. My kid was like, whoa.
That's a badass.
I think it was like just a short time that we were even allowed to wear those things. But yeah, that was we got to wear them with our battle dress stuff. Like it was a good look, and also it's way better with your dress uniform.
Oh yeah.
Than the
Did
kind
you
of
pull it down over your eye?
Yeah.
Were you one of those guys?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
you had to. That was like you had to shape it. You had to. It was a weird thing.
You know, you were wearing a little beret French girl hat.
That's what I like to look like. We'll see you tomorrow. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On your ride to work,